Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or blink. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from the profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Fear and greed run through the wire.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday. It's Free Alpha Friday. Hang on, let me unmute my crew over here. All right, good morning, everybody. So went ahead and kicked on this stream. Welcome, everybody on the stream. Tuberville, what's up, buddy? I see you on the stream. Mike, Rudy. One put's in the house, guys, and we got quite a few on X and YouTube as well. So every week we seem to have a bigger and bigger crowd, which is awesome. Love that. So we're going to go over just kind of the day and what's up. You know, again, this is all-time high nonsense as we traverse basically this range and we accept value. Okay, so I'm just going to get into it right away. We're just going to dive into it, guys. You know, if I hope that most of you guys read the plan. If you haven't, obviously the post-market breakdown was super excellent yesterday. I went into a lot of detail. If you haven't checked it out, please do. It is still very much relevant. I talk about what it means to, you know, when we trend up, push higher, accept value. That is essentially what we started to do ultimately yesterday. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it from the top, and we're going to just work this through. This whole thing might be a little redundant for some of the people that were in there yesterday, but that's okay. Okay, so it doesn't hurt. Let me let my pin fire up here. Bring this over. So I'm going to show you what we're working with. All right, here we go. Let's kick it off. Another fun Friday. Let's going to be very patient today, guys. We had huge news this morning. We had NFP and some other jazz here. Let's see, what exactly was it? I don't even remember. All I know is we had NFP at 8:30, and hourly earnings and unemployment rate. We have at 10 a.m. we have consumer sentiment after the open, and then here's the big one that really has my antennas flared up. That's Trump at noon. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on what he's talking about because, you know, he loves to move this market. So with that being said, guys, we had this massive move up yesterday, as everybody's full aware. And, you know, the idea is to come down here and play support. But we've talked about how, you know, when you're in a massive trend up, you know, what they do is they push up, they accept new highs. And then ultimately at some point in time, we get a pullback. Okay. And then how they essentially continue to move higher and accept value is we find support, we push back up, and we do this as we continue to accept value. This becomes the new accepted value, and then ultimately we'll push higher, right? So that's assuming that we're going to go up. I'm just talking about under assumptions right now because we're obviously still bullish, okay? And this is going to come very much into play with what we're talking about today, okay? So yesterday, which we'll talk about soon, we actually closed here, and then we ended up gap opening lower underneath yesterday's low. And then when they squeezed back up, we have pushed all the way into our massive spot. We have now basically rallied all the way up over 60 points in the overnight session, creating a brand new overnight all-time high, which of course will be a target for cash session players today. Okay, so with that being said, once again, we are very short on 4-hour support. And you guys know that is my preferred favorite. If you were there in the trade plan, how to trade the trade plan webinar, you know I focus on daily and 4-hour levels for the most part, and we are very thin on those right now. We do happen to have a 4-hour that was created at the inception last night on the move up around 73.40 that I would be eyeing if we make it that far down there. I'm not sure that actually happens. Okay, so just keep that in mind. We're just talking about the 4-hour time frame for now. I do truly believe that this can honestly sit in here somewhere, and this could be our new price zone as we continue to look for new highs if they want to continue to do that. If not, then obviously we'll come down here and we'll try again. Okay, but for now, my assumption is that, you know, we're going to stay in this range, but anything can happen. So I'll show you exactly what I'm looking at today here as well. And I hope that I'm looking at this. I hate that. I'm so sorry, guys. If you're on Substack, I don't know why it's jerking around like that. If you guys can see that, I am not causing that to do that. So anyways, long story short, let's go ahead and bring it over to the 1-hour time frame. Show you guys what I'm talking about here. Okay. So the 1-hour time frame yesterday night, and this is the long that I took last night. I just so happened I was sitting here because I was on the stream late with you guys. This was yesterday's low. We actually gapped below this, and then we continued to push up. You probably saw it in the trade plan. And once we started to accept value, we basically have come all the way up into our massive resistance area. As you can clearly see, we made a new all-time high, but we are still sitting right here. This is going to be our major inflection point. Okay, this is going to be everything for us today. If we push above 74.02, we're going to continue that move to the upside. Now, whether they can get the job done today, I'm not sure. You see it's been tested 1, 2, really 3, but actually 4 times here, if you really want to look at it like that. And so we know now that if we push above this, we will be coming for that overnight high. Right now, we have no reason to believe that it won't happen, but you know how it's going to happen is another story. Okay, so with that being said, we have basically this whole move up. You see how it did this all the way up? They tested every level of support on this move up. Okay, I have nothing from a structural perspective, even on a 1-hour time frame. I have a very small 30-minute piece of nonsense, basically somewhere around 85, which I'll show you guys, but nothing that I'm going to lean my hat on. Okay, other than that, I have 2 1-hour levels that I think could be decent. Right, we have 64.50 that's located with yesterday's point of control. We want to see it sweep into this level and get back above the 67.25. That'll be our trigger to come back up. We're really looking to get all the way back up there if this holds, obviously taking profits around our put wall, etc. Okay. The other level for us to look at real hard is 73.59. I like this too. It played last night from the bottom up, as you can see right there. Okay. So if they do come in and play this level, we want to get back above 64.50 and squeeze again. Below this, it looks a little shady. It looks a little rough, but we do have that spot at 40 that I told you guys about. I would not take this level blindly. I would wait for this level to get back above yesterday's low, just like we did with the long last night, to trigger our longs, taking profits around 60 and seeing if we can get a squeeze higher. Okay, so that's really the trade plan for the day. This isn't going to be a super exciting day. I hope to just kind of kick it with you guys. I mean, I hope we get some volatility, but more than likely, we're just going to be bullshitting most of the day. We're going to try to catch one long if we can. Right now, we really have no reason to look for shorts. That does not mean we can't rotate. Just keep in mind, guys, if you are shorting, these are scalps, okay? The real move is to the upside. That is the path of least resistance. And downside moves can certainly pay. It could pay all the way into here. But just know that those are scalps. They're going to be short-lived because ultimately the bulls are in control right now. So with that being said, you know, as long as we hold this area, really, we are pretty good. And really this area is what it comes down to for us today. But below this, it kind of gets crazy. So we're really looking for that push higher if they're going to give it to us today. When we came into the day, we almost met our expected range for the day. I don't know if anybody noticed that in the trade plan this morning. We have an expected range of 78 points. Good morning, G. Pleasure to see you. And we have already moved 76 points. So we're basically kind of met our range for the day. It doesn't mean they can't, you know, do more. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that right now we have, you know, relative volumes down 10% or kind of flat, right? And we've already met our expected range. And that expected range is the overnight high to the overnight low. Okay, so we're basically, the way it says right now is we're basically from the overnight high to the overnight low. We shouldn't expect too much extension above these. This is the 76 points that we moved essentially last night. So we'll see what happens. I mean, chances are that we will break out of today's range at some point, but you never know. Obviously, path of least resistance is to the upside, but we'll see what happens. This O2 is a monster, guys. An absolute monster. Is going to be so important for us no matter how we look at it. They are right now trying to accept some value, as you can see, as we build sideways. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me get my charts aligned here, and I hope that helps everybody kind of get an idea of what we're looking at for the day. That was a quick recap of the trade plan. For those of you guys who had the trade plan, you've got more solid structure and a little bit more, I don't know about more info, but, you got the cheat sheet, etc. So we'll see what happens. Yo, Shane, did everybody understand what I just put out there in the Discord room? You guys good with all that? Any questions? Anything you want to talk about? No? All right, so check it out. Look at it. Look at SPX. We're starting to push above our value area high. These are our big main resistance areas in here. Okay, watch these areas. Obviously, we're trending up right now. But if they do want to pull back, we do have a nice little RTH gap fill that we could possibly visit here. So again, guys, I'm sorry if you're on Substack. I don't know why it's shaking like that. We're not doing that on my screen. So if it bothers you too much, go to YouTube or X. You should be pretty good there. So let's see what we got. Yo, Tony, what's up? Tony's on YouTube. Yeah, this is ES, bro. And it's pretty much leveraged just like that. It's damn near as a 10x multiple of SPY, not ES, but yeah, we do the futures, bro. And I also really focus on SPX quite a bit, as you can see from the stream. SPX, VIX, why we trade ES. So we'll see. Might be a chill day today. Like I said, we've got news at 10 a.m. So we've already got the NFP news this morning. We already got the other one, whatever it was. I can't remember. So 10 a.m. we got to deal with, it's not red tag, but it's news anyway. And then Trump at noon, which is really where we should try to get our money and get the hell out by then, because Lord knows what he's going to do. He always has a tendency to get my stops flashed. All right. This off a sim. Let's get my trade copier up. Billy and Bill. Zanetti from Target sent an email out regarding Emergent Edge. Hope you guys got that. Just to kind of let you guys know that so if you haven't checked your email, please check it. Everything's on point. It's all good. Just wanted to let you know that we actually Rob is working on something that he's implementing. And so we're basically going to reset the contracts, and you guys aren't going to start until next week. So until we do our first execution, which we're planning on Wednesday-ish of next week. So just want to let you know what's up. If you haven't seen it, check your email. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, nothing's wrong. It's just wanted to kind of set some expectations and let you guys know what was happening. And especially for Tuberville, he's been signed up since day one. He hasn't got an execution yet. So just wanted to let you guys know what was cooking. It was my recommendation and let everybody know. I think it's important to set expectations so people, nobody really cares as long as you guys know, right? So that's what's cooking. All right, guys. So here's the deal too, guys. I want to show you this. We've got some serious options clusters right here. As you guys can tell, we have our options pivot at 04. This is, it's always in spam. This is where, we have a difference between calls and puts right here at 04. Obviously, we have a very large call wall at 15. 15 has almost been touched 3 times this morning. That last pop up during NFP gave us the nice rejection. If we do, in fact, pop all-time highs, we're going to be using these call walls as targets as we continue to move higher. But, other than that, that's kind of it. And then last night we tested all the support up, so we'll be looking for some of these put walls to do us some justice, especially around the 64 spot, which is that 1 hour spot that I was telling you I liked with the naked point of control. Of all the areas that I may be interested in buying, this would probably be a good one. We will see what happens at this very minor support here at 85. I don't really play small 30-minute levels ever. As you guys know, I don't even like 1 hour levels, but given their aggressiveness, and if they hold VWAP and we start to reclaim something, I may get on it. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted what happens. But, for me, this is really a lack of high quality trades here, ultimately. I found this tweet this morning that I actually sent to Rob. I'll show you. The OG Mancini, he caught the same trade that we caught last night. But it's so funny because in this tweet, he basically says, where's it at? The plan for the day, where's it at? I thought it was pretty funny. It made me laugh because, everybody thinks there's always going to be some amazing trade every single day. But let me see if I can find it for you. Basically, the plan today is what he said was nothing, right? So just thought that was interesting. The plan today, nothing to do, right? So look at this. He's even got the same level. 74.02 is next major resistance, 13.18. Him and I always had the same levels. I'm starting to think he might be one of my mentors, and I don't even know it. But, he's probably incognito under somebody else's pseudonym. But anyways, very interesting. Same thing that we basically experienced last night. Let me see if I can find this post here. Oh, let's see. Where are we at? Snag it. So here was our trade from last night, guys, just to fill you in. This was last night's low. We gapped lower. Me and Kay got long after we did the reclaim of yesterday's low. As you can see, here's the next progression of that picture as we continue to push higher and start to get solid closes over our 1 hour support yesterday that we were looking to get a hold of. And then obviously, as you can see, end up squeezing all the way into the 74.02, step 1, step 2, step 3, where we had now. You can see I had runners all the way up to basically 96. So I caught the long last night, just kind of chilling now. And, kind of like he said, too, there's not a whole lot to do here. We just kind of hang out with you guys and see if we can get a pullback to something to buy. So fun stuff. Rob, talk to me, brother. What you got? Oh, he's muted again. Rob's MIA. Rob is so busy with all this algorithm stuff, guys. I got to tell you, he is just covered up constantly. All right, so this is going to be the big level for us on SPX. We have no reason to believe that it'll get smacked here, but we shouldn't also discount it. Right now, of course, guys, we haven't lost on any time frame whatsoever. But my preferred buy is this buy on SPX, as you can see, 73.34. It aligns with yesterday's point of control, which also aligns perfectly with our spot that I talked about at 64. So, if Confluence serves us anything, that's the level that we should be patient and wait for. But we'll see what happens. If they start to push above this area here, we might just slowly drift the rest of the day. We actually went, our negative volume, our relative volume is now minus 14%. So not only have we met our expected range, but we also have low relative volume, which is never fun. So. Trade copy. All right. Let's see what we got. A nice little crew in here this morning. Welcome everyone on X and YouTube. Quite a crew in here. So once again, this is the fun part of trading. You wait for an awesome move, and then you wake up in the morning and they're right back at resistance. So it's all about being patient at this point. Let's pull up some gamma skews and take a look at what we have in front of us right now. Take a look at this. Sort of a sneak peek at the plan here. Go. We talked about VIX. We talked about SPX. Here we go. Here's our gamma skews. So you can clearly see that if the highs up here, we have 74.35. This is our biggest gamma skew on the map. We have the most open interest and gamma exposure here. If we do pop an all-time high, this would be a fantastic target. This would be approximately 10 or 15 points above our current all-time high. Also, the two that I'm really eyeing right now for the lows, obviously, is the 64. That's by our spot. And then, of course, we've got this 84 here, which is that 30-minute level that I'm kind of tracking. And it's really more just about the options there and the value area high. Something I'm going to be very patient on, though. I'll be just completely honest with you. I'm not sold on that whatsoever. Believe me, the degen in me right now wants to short this daily level and bring this down to kind of clean some things up. I'm just not so certain that, with the fact that we haven't lost any support right now, we're up on all time frames, right? So, we know the all-time high is going to be our target at some point. Just when are they going to get it? Could take a little poke at this with a stop above 02. See what happens here. I'm actually going to take this off here. Right now, we got a VIX bleeding off for us. Yeah, it's kind of silly. Let's see what we got. Yeah. And we get yesterday's value area high. What do we think? TML, how we doing this morning? Good, brother. And we got a nice, strong crew in here today. Welcome, everyone. That's what's up. I love it when everybody shows up, but man, can we get some good areas to play? You know what I mean? They make the move in the overnight session, and then during the cash session, we kind of just chill. Yesterday's pullback was great. Don't get me wrong. It was nice, but the price action was extremely erratic. We were kind of all over the place. As you guys know, we'd move, and then we'd stop, and then they'd go. So very interesting price action that we have here. I loved the sweep play last night off yesterday's lows, but in all actuality, just for us cash session traders, it would be nice to build some support here. As we continue to push up, we've had this massive run since Monday, and they just have not gave us any areas to really play off of that are legitimate structure, So very interesting. Yesterday's low at 73.38 happened to be SPX's value area low. And so, other than that, it was our big 4 hour for us on ES as well. And this is kind of what's holding us up right now. As you can see, we're well above the weekly and monthly VWAPs as we continue to drift higher. Yeah, there's no trade here, Billy. There's no trade here. Absolutely none. If anything, we need to be kind of pointing to the upside a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I was just testing my trade copier there to see if everything was working correctly. So I'm just sitting on my hands right now. I got 10 accounts buzzing here. So we'll see what happens. One of the big levels I think we really need to watch on SPX, and I pointed this out in the trade plan for everybody as well, was this value area high that's on SPX. I'm going to go ahead and pull SPX down so we can get a better look at exactly what this thing entails. So this is the 30-minute on SPX. And really what I'm looking at here is the value areas, guys, okay? So, this is our daily resistance here on SPX and our 4 hour. But really the levels that I'm looking for, to break below is if SPX pushes below the 73.66, we could get significant continuation to the downside as we will get back inside yesterday's range, yesterday's value area, pulling us back down into basically fill the gap. And I really like points of control, as you guys know, especially when they're untested. yesterday's value was a great reactionary point, and the fact that we have an untested level right here gives me a little confidence that this level could play. And of course, we know that our stops are pretty mitigated as well, especially if we use the cash session chart. So, love bringing these two together. Obviously, want to explain to you guys my logic and thought process behind it because we run them in parallel. That's what we do. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what the cash session looks like on ES. It should look just like this. We should be way up there. Yep. So do we gap, gap, gap and go like they always do, it seems like? So, Billy, what I'd like to see, buddy, is, if they're going to push this higher on us, right, instead of just trying to buy this breakout, what I'd like to see is a push higher and a nice solid close up here somewhere, and then give us a nice pullback for a retest where we can buy some official support, Like, that's what I want to see if we're going to continue to cruise all-time highs today. I don't necessarily have a problem buying the breakout, but you know what I'm saying. And we've got VIX right here that's actually starting to peel down for us quite considerably. So something to definitely keep in mind here is it stays underneath that 1744. We're going to stay extremely, it's going to stay suppressed and obviously kind of give ES the tailwind that may give us the push that we're looking for. We'll see. Now we're sitting right at this big call wall and shit. I'm half tempted to take a poke here. We'll see. My thing is, the way I'm looking at this right now is they had an opportunity to flush this. We popped up and made a new all-time high. Now that becomes our RTH target. They had a chance to flush under 02, basically held VWAP, and as we continue to push higher, this will more than likely continue to go for us. See what happens. I'm going to get long here just a little bit, a small size, and see if this thing is just going to go. Well, guys, as you know from our trade plan, we'll just kind of highlight this real fast. And this is why I keep talking about this could potentially go. This 702 or 7402 is our true decision point. Okay, this is either going to flop here or go. I actually grabbed the long above 02 once I saw that they were going to continue this push. I'm going to take one at yesterday's high, and then obviously one at all-time highs. And then, of course, I'm going to leave a runner for much higher if we can get some mojo, see what happens. As of right now, we're just kind of chilling. So, I'm not a big breakout trader, but it was going to go. And so let's see if we can get these upside targets. And I would be more than happy to also take this trade if they close higher and give us a nice little retest. So let's see if we can at least get up there for now. What is that noise? There is my 4-hour on SPX getting touched. Go ahead and just reach out and take those 2 ticks early. I'm going to go ahead and be careful here. Only reason I'm protecting myself is we got this 4 hour here, and SPX is getting ready to pop a new high right now. We have seen SPX pop new highs multiple times and fade, just like it did just now. Let's just hope that for the sake of my runner here, I hope that it doesn't pull back, but more than likely will, so just playing the probabilities here. And here we come. They're going to stop me out. Just so you guys all know on the stream, you are looking at my tick charts. Okay, 15-minute is my smallest time frame. That's what I use for execution. So generally, I only play larger levels, daily 4 hour levels. So 15-minute is plenty small. Obviously, right now, due to all-time highs, we're down to smaller support. So, it is what it is. But I'm comfortable with the 15-minute. So that's what we're seeing. And here comes my break even, it looks like. Oh, not yet. Almost. Grabbing this little bullshit right here. My average is kind of shitty because I added a little late. But if we can get the follow through, it won't matter. Hell of a crew here this morning, guys. The stream is full. 100 plus people on YouTube and X. It's fantastic. Glad to see everybody showed up. What's up? Excellent to have everyone. I think I'm going to do this every Friday, guys. I mean, I know this is like our third time in a row, but it seems like we get good turnouts and everybody enjoys it. I always get some positive feedback. So love having everybody for sure. Really, they got so close to my stop. It was insane. That was crazy. You kept moving it up. Yeah, right. Let's go, though. Let's get that 12, huh? 1175 is what I'm going for. I'm going to take 3 ticks early if they give it to me. Yeah, they must have just missed me by like nothing. I don't understand. I can't really see it because I don't have a smaller time frame, but let me look at a 5 minute. Yeah, they basically missed me by a tick, it looks like. I like this fill. I mean, let's see if we can get a pump here. Oh, let's go. Yeah, Bill, let's go. I know Tim's in this joint. Tim's full blown degen. He's probably triple X long. He's like, I got 100 contracts on 3X. It's disappointing. I actually almost took an extra one up there, and looks like they're going to knock us out. Wah, wah, wah. All right, on to the next one. That 4 hour right now is getting a little low, but guys, they did make that all-time high in SPX, so gotta be careful here. You know, how many times have we seen them make that all-time high by a few ticks and then rotate on everybody? So I hope I didn't clip myself on this long too early. Oh, you did a stagger stop? That was probably a smart idea. I probably should have done that myself. I had two left. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. How's the trade copy looking good. Yeah, Bill, I was probably just, when I had that shitty, when I started adding in a little late, I should have gotten in all three contracts at once. Instead, I added them one at a time and then moved my average up a little bit. So just being a little too protected there. And this week, the all-time high. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they did this to us yesterday. Remember, we got all the way up there to the all-time high. I think Tim and I were long and missed it. Or was it Shane? I can't remember who it was. Some one of us were trying to get that high and they missed us by a couple ticks. Tuberville, I think. It's Tuberville. So, guys, if we get a nice solid 1 hour close up here, we'll see what it looks like. We got 3 minutes left. They could potentially be setting up a buy between 02 and 98, but we don't know for sure until this 1 hour closes. So we'll see what happens here. Right now, as you can see, SPX is getting a little pullback off of this after the new all-time high there. So we'll see if it actually is going to do anything today, or if it was just a little head bump. What gap are we talking about, Tony? Below us, the RTH gap? I don't know. It's certainly possible. Right now they haven't been filling any gaps. We've been so insanely bullish. We've had such crazy short squeezes that a lot of these gaps have not been getting filled. As you know, we had a massive gap from, what was that, Monday, Tuesday or whatever, that still remains open below us. So, right now trend is up. And that's all I know. I trade the chart. I don't worry about what I think. So what I do think is if we break that underneath the open, then yes, it's a possibility. As long as we stay above 98, basically, we're going to continue to try to push a little higher. So, guys, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there. A lot of you have already signed up for this, but if you have not, I'll go ahead and put it in the thing here, guys. Let's see this one right here. On the 28th of May, I'm doing a webinar, how to trade the trade plan. Goes into exactly how to do a step-by-step of my trade plan, my thoughts, how to read it, how to understand every angle of it, the options vol levels, the GEX levels, how we interpret, expected range, et cetera, et cetera. All you got to do is fill this out, and I'll send you an email with a reminder, et cetera, for the 28th at 6 p.m. I'm also going to be giving away 2 prop firm examinations. So if you're there, show up. Awesome. If you're not, you'll get a recording, but you're still in line for the prop firm stuff. So I will say this. If you want to win the prop firm, you got to put your phone number in there because I'll be texting you. Okay. So a lot of the emails end up people spam. It's much easier to text people. and just find out, to tell them they got their thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put the links in the YouTube and for the Substack, and I will also throw it in X if I can. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Looks like we're going to crack that all-time high, Bill. There we go, Kay. I was a little too aggressive on my stop there, unfortunately. Let's see here. Let me throw this link in the X for you guys. I'm going to put this X link in the one that's being in the stream right now. Little pop of that all-time high into that call wall.
Anyone watching NQ, it just chewed through 600 contracts at 29,100 like it was nothing.
Well, look what the cat dragged in.
I know, I've been back and forth. I'm sorry. On, off, on, off.
When I need you, you're never there.
I'm so sorry.
So for all you peeps on X, just to let you know, I went ahead and put those links in there. Also, guys, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there since I put that link in there for this as well. I've talked about this many times in the trade plan or in the post-market breakdown. I am doing an SPX brief. Guys, this thing is awesome. Gives you the news every morning, the top 5 headlines, tells you about pattern recognition and pattern intelligence for SPX. Telling you exactly, are we bullish or bearish based on indicators? If you guys are into indicators, I don't really care about it as much, but I do like to have the bias, right? If, history says I basically collect 30 years worth of 1 minute data. And so we take 150 indicators and we look at them every day and we say, when all these things happen, what has happened in the past? And so that's on there as well as all the value levels. Definitely sign up for this. Just keep in mind, if you sign up for this, it will more than likely end up in your spam box. So make sure that you check in the morning. It comes out at 5:40 Eastern time in the morning. Just pull it out of your spam box, tell Google it's not spam, and you'll start getting that in the morning. I love it. That's where I get these value area levels at. I'll just show you guys what it looks like. I've showed it a few times on the stream, but since we got a nice little crew in here, I'll show you guys what this looks like. This is what you can expect to get. Shows all your value area, high, low, point of control levels, all the diagrams basically for the weekly and the daily to see how value has been moving around. Then you got your TWAP levels. TWAP, just so you guys know, is the institutional version of VWAP for SPX. And then, of course, here's the pattern recognition stuff. And then one of my favorites is the news every morning. I love drinking my coffee and looking at the top 5 headlines. So hope you guys sign up for that. We already have 250 subscribers. I'm only going to let 500 people sign up for this. Absolutely free. Do your thing. Sign up for it. Now's your chance. So once that's filled up, that is over with. Rob, tell me something good, dude. Besides the fact that I didn't hold my or I've had a bad target or stop. Tell me something else.
That's not something good.
No, that's terrible. I mean, I made some money, but I really banked off that long last night, to be honest.
Yeah. No, that was the long.
Yeah, that fail breakdown was a beauty for sure. I normally don't trade Globex, as you know, but I literally was on the stream late, and then we gapped down and immediately reclaimed, and I'm like, I gotta try this. And then I left, and when I came back, I sent you a message, and you're like, holy shit. I'm like, I know, it actually worked.
It's crazy. Really good.
Yeah, it's fun. Fun stuff. So what are you working on over there? Tell us something good. You working on execution engines?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
That's fun stuff.
It's the architecture for this thing is a little bit hairy, and so.
Well, listen, you got 2 emergent edge people in the room right now. You've got Bill and you've got Tuberville, or you got Billy in Tuberville, and I think there's a few other people actually in here as well. Why don't you just, as you probably saw, Mike sent an email out this morning, basically talking about how, people's contracts didn't start yet, and we were working on, some parts of it. And do you mind just explaining what you're doing so people can have a good idea of basically what the holdup is, right? Just
Sure.
Just shoot them straight. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, basically what happened was we built this whole architecture. So when we would trigger a trade, it would then go over and execute with like the brokerage system. And so we had set that up and we've been testing it and it's been working. And the way it was intended to work, the way we designed everything is we were designing it as if we were trading for just one account, and then their side of the system would take over and then trade sort of like blocking accounts. So if I put one, let's suppose we just had 5 people participating, and my system would say, okay, I'm going to put one contract on, and then on the brokerage side, they would go, oh, okay, almost like copy trader, it would say, no, okay, now we can do 5. That's the way this was sort of like designed from the ground up. And what we learned is the brokerage system actually just wants us to trade it as one system. So rather than just putting one on, rather than just putting one on, now we're putting 5 on. Now it sounds like a really simple fix, just like multiply the number by how many people are participating or whatever. But the way this works for our system is actually really sophisticated. And so it's not like you can just put a contract on with OCR orders and then the stop and the targets are what they are. And, you've submitted those, they move on. Because all these stops have different like parameters of why we would get out of the trade, we have to manage those stops really efficiently. And so in a world where all of a sudden we're firing off just a bunch of contracts and each one of those had their own stop, we're a little worried that managing those wouldn't be seamless and perfect. So I'm managing those right now to make sure they're seamless and perfect. So rather than just having for every trade having its own stop and everything, we're managing those in blocks now. So I'm just making sure that that's perfect.
And just so I understand, maybe you said this and I was busy typing to somebody. I just want to, reiterate, like, essentially what it was doing is the way that it's designed is that if you had, let's just say 9 people and it put on 2 contracts, it would put on 18 separate orders. Right. And so you basically have to go back in and say, no, that's not right. We need 2 targets with 9 apiece, but it's all about, you actually have to retool the entire execution engine over the thing.
Yeah. Well, basically it's the stop management to make sure that nothing gets lost or overlooked.
Right. It's pretty intense, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah. So apologies for starting a little late. Like basically the way the brokerage told us, to do it, and then they changed their mind. So we'll get it right. And we're going to take our time to make sure it's right and nothing gets lost. Nothing gets overlooked.
Real quick, Tony on YouTube, you asked, do you need to sign up for the May 28th class? Do you need to sign up for the daily email? No, you don't need to do that. I mean, obviously the daily, this is a complement to the daily trade plans, right? If you're coming to this webinar, you're essentially learning to come understand how to properly get the most out of the trade plan, right? Last time we had 75 people in there. It was fantastic. I felt we had a 25-minute question and answer. I felt like people got a lot of value out of it. So, but again, these were people who were either on the fence about subscribing or people who were already subscribing who wanted to get more out of the trade plans and understand the process a little better. So do you need to sign up for it? No, you don't. Maybe you'll come and actually learn something and like what we're doing. That would be cool too. But no, the answer is no. And the SPX brief that I was showing you guys, that is a free resource that anybody can use. You don't have to sign up for anything I'm doing. That is just something that me and Rob are always developing cool shit, basically. And so it was something I sent to him and I'm like, hey, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, I'd love to see this every morning. So like after a month of us going back and forth, he was like, why don't you let people have this? And I'm like, it doesn't, it's all automated for us. We just, it comes to us at 5:40 in the morning. So that's what I'm doing. Basically opening up the folder, and anybody who subscribes goes right into the mailing list, essentially. And then just, the bot basically pukes out an email in the morning. So if you guys get value out of that, I hope you do. I know I do. As you can see on my SPX chart, I mark those levels every single day. So I know they're right, which is another reason that I use them, because we spend a lot of time. I feel like Rob and I spend more time double and triple checking to make sure things are right than we actually do developing stuff. Wouldn't you say, Rob?
Oh, easily. Yeah. I did want to follow up on a question that Billy had, which is like, do I write a new code or modifying the automation to achieve your goals? So I guess the easy way to think about the way I built this is I've got a script that is the strategy. It does all the strategy, calculations, and figures out when to get in, get out. And then next to that, I have an execution engine that is monitoring trade and making sure that the trade is getting filled properly and that the stops are getting managed. And so what I'm doing is modifying that execution engine slightly to make sure that it gets
you see what he wrote. Tim, you're
and also
crazy.
It doesn't over execute on the amount of trades it gets.
That's so funny.
Am I that quiet? I'm sorry.
No, Tim's
How about this? Can you hear my dulcet tones?
Damn, a voice built for radio. Welcome, Rob. Welcome to WXTC. It's good to hear you. Okay. Yeah, so Tony, just to let you know, if you signed up for the class, right, you'll get emails regarding that class and that class only. Okay, you won't automatically be signed up for that XPS brief or the trade plans. Each one of those you have to opt in for if you're interested. I'm not, it's like, I'm not going to send you shit you don't want. So if you want it, sign up for it. If not, that's cool too. So I hope that answers your question. Can you hear him now, Tim? Is he loud enough?
Yeah. Can you hear me now? I actually have a decent mic and setup, so I'm surprised you can't. So
we need you to put the mic inside your mouth, so it's a little bit more,
I know. I feel like I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember like that '70s Mr. Microphone thing where guys riding in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Hey, good looking. We'll be by to pick you up later.
Yeah, you're right, Shees. We got a ton of killers in here today. The stream is packed. The Discord is fucking slammed too. That's what's up. I love to see everybody in here, especially on a Friday. Like, I know this is like not amazing trading here, but they did set up a long, by the way, guys. We actually do have a long setup after this close. I'm going to go ahead and explain it for you guys just so you can see what I'm looking at here. Let me go ahead and throw this on here. It's not great, right? We're kind of like, you can hear Ryan, but not Rob. Do you just have Rob?
I think that's,
that sounds like a personal problem.
It's, like when you're in a marriage and you can't hear your wife, you get your hearing tested, and they say it's totally fine. You have like selective hearing.
It's a wife ear. Let me find out he's got a wife ear for you, Rob. That'd be so funny. So just to show you guys what I'm looking at, if we're truly going to continue our continuation higher, we do have that daily here, which I'm not ultimately worried about right now because we haven't, we don't have the right time frame to test it. But the two levels that I'm really looking at for potential support, and again, it's the same levels that we've talked about this morning, same levels from the trade plan. We had a significant close here on the 1 hour time frame, well above all-time highs, making us gain on this big 1 hour, right? But in doing so, we've created a nice leg up on the 1 hour at 73.98. We also have that daily at 99, which we could lean on, even though it's not a level that would technically count as untested from the top down. It's there anyway, and it gives us some support. The open is directly below this. And then the other level that I would be really looking at more so than the 59 is that 59? Hang on, I'm sorry. Sorry, the 99, excuse me, 98, 99 is the 74.02. That's the top down 4 hour that we played multiple times this morning, especially on the other smaller time frames. Between these two levels, I do feel like there's a decent amount of support that if we come down and play this, we actually could get another pop to the highs. Again, everything goes south underneath this level here, guys, and we'll retrace this overnight move and come back down here. So look at that. Did you see that? Did you see that, Rob? He actually had you muted, bro. He doesn't even know you and he's muting.
He doesn't even know you're dead to me.
That's right. He's like, who the fuck is this Rob guy?
Awesome.
Right? Who is this guy? He's got a voice for radio.
Ass hat.
He all talks technical and shit. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Like,
All right.
nerd alert.
Yeah, nerd alert. Nerd alert. So as you guys can see, they're playing that 1 hour right now. What is happening here? We're playing this 1 hour right now. Nerd alert. Top down here, which is also yesterday's high. I'm not sure if this gives us very much propulsion to the upside, but that's what's happening. This is what I'm going to wait on. And really,
I think that.
You think that's so too, Rob?
Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to hold, they're going to hold, right? So look, check this out. This is what I was talking about. This is a 30-minute chart. We get a little bit more granular look here. So if we come down in here, this is that O2, like multiple times from the top down, right? Then we've got the 1 hour at 98, right? So then we've got the open here and VWAP's creeping up. So this to me is massive. I'm definitely going to take a poke at this area here if we come back down. But again, things do go south underneath the open, essentially. As you can see from the profile, we are just squeezing today. We've got a big buying tail. We're going to continue to squeeze higher. Even if they come down and check this 98, that would still only bring us down to our current value area low. So you leave us a little tail. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. So I'm just going to kind of monitor this and check out what's up. Well, that's what's up, Tony. I hope to see you in these events. It'll be nice. We always have a nice question and answer too. So bring your questions. I'm an open book, my friend. There's enough money here for all of us. I just want to see you guys win. All we do is win. Yeah, exactly. Billy, you've got it exactly what I'm talking about. Play 99, recapture 02, we get long. The rest is history, exactly. Right? Yep. You're tired of waiting so right? Your arms get tired. It's like, God, how long can I do this?
My problem. I have too much money.
That's right. Too much money, too many wins. Yeah. You got to take some losses here and there just to kind of even things out.
Become morally corrupt.
Got to even things out. By the way, I believe it or not, check this out. So you guys know in the stream I was talking about that Bitcoin short. That I'm short from 60 or 82,500. I'd love to see this thing really get a move down. You know, my risk is not huge here because I got such a nice fill. But we're starting to get a little love. We'll see what happens if this thing can continue lower. I'm actually short IBIT. I got some puts and sold some call spreads. But what I wanted to show you was something that it's just typical me shit. Look, check this out. Let me see if I can find it right here. Look at this, Rob. Remember me saying that they missed my fills? Look at that. Look at that bullshit, bro. How did that not get filled? It literally went through my strike. Unless, I just do not get it. So whatever. So we'll see. Just want to play games. Let's see. I bid.
Colonel.
Let's see, where are we at with this position? Minus 2, minus 44.
back inside.
Yeah, I saw that too. Z starting to pick up a little bit. I was noticing that myself. I'd love to see it pop this 44. We can get a little push up into this upper daily area here. Just, a little shake wouldn't hurt anybody. By the way, guys, this is a trade that I've been looking at for some time. I actually removed my orders, unfortunately. This is the trade desk. I don't know if anybody's been monitoring this, but my actual fill was this monthly level down here at 1930. This thing just looks like it's primed for the buy, right? So anyways, we got so close. We missed it. And then in the overnight session, they had earnings and they came down. I'll show you what it looks like. Look, they literally touched that monthly perfectly and popped. I did remove my orders. Apparently they are having some real issues here. I don't really care about the fundamentals of it, but if we come back down here in the $17 to $19 range, I will probably take a little poke at this and see what happens. Because this just looks like, the chart is just screaming at me. So we'll see what happens. They played the level perfect, but I took my orders off. Literally just took them off 2 days ago. So that was a little disappointing. But I've been sitting with 100 lot waiting to get filled for, I don't know, probably 6 months. So a little disappointing. V, what part of Cali are you from? Did you say San Diego or San Francisco? Or neither of those? Oh, she must be gone. Patrick Asselon's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Patrick? Well, it's a shame I trailed too hard on my terrible average. I would have tried to get this squeeze all the way up to 74.35. Looks like that's where she's headed. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but VIX played this 4 hour perfectly at the highs here. Look at this touch. I'm sorry, not VIX, but SPX 7384.77. Played it perfectly. Just unbelievable. Now she's off. That happens to be the same 1 hour level that we are looking at here. As you guys can see, they decided that they were going to play this as well. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk? I was reading about Z. I know that you said you came from somebody's room, another influencer or whatever, and he's been short this entire time or bearish this whole time. I actually saw some tweets this morning about it. Another influencer that I think is whatever. Anyways, they were saying the same thing about him, that he was just short this entire rally, telling people just to continue to short up here. I think it's wild. Don't trade opinions, trade the chart, you know what I'm saying? She's crazy to me. Absolutely fucking insane, actually. It's like, who gives a shit if you're wrong? Just fucking buy. Like, you don't have to like it, you just have to make money, right? You know what it is, Kay. We all think this is ridiculous, right? Like, it doesn't have to make sense, it just has to make dollars. So, I swear to God, I stopped worrying about what we were trading like 2 or 3 years ago. I stopped trying to figure out like, oh, what's the macroeconomics behind this? Like, of course, this should keep going up, right? And who gives a shit, right? Like, I don't even, for me, it's not even the ES anymore. It's just a chart It could be widgets. It's completely horseshit. All of it's horseshit, as we all know, right? It's like ridiculous. This rally we've had, like, where'd that come from? but let's get along. It's crazy. Got quite a few people in the stream today. You guys haven't signed up, might as well pitch myself, right? Draw a few why not pitch myself? You guys sign up for the S&P Edge. I do a weekly newsletter every Sunday. It's awesome. We do the weekend review, high time frame. It's free. I also put out some psychology stuff. And anytime I got anything that's not related to the trade plan, stocks, crypto stuff, I just put it out there for free. So definitely worth signing up for. I spend a lot of time and effort in that. So if you guys haven't signed up for it, definitely suggest that you do. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll put the link in there for you. But this is essentially what it looks like. Daily trade plans, the whole 9 yards. And then obviously the Lululemon call we just put out, a few other things. So highly recommend you guys check this out. It's fun. We caught Snowflake bottom. We're starting to buy Lululemon. It's finally time for all that. And of course, big Bitcoin guy, big crypto fan. So if you guys haven't signed up for that, definitely do so. I think you'll get a lot of value from it. Look at this push. I wish we could say we just saw that coming. If you're on X, just check the bio. Check my bio. It's all in there. Yeah, dude, it's doing it again. Zug. Once again, right? VIX is going up with the indices. Of course, again, and I've said this before, just so you know, Zug, I truly believe the VIX can move around as long as we're below the monthly at 1744. It won't apply any pressure to the indices, right? So the moment we move over 1744, I think we start to get a little headwind. Right now, underneath this, I think it can go back and forth as much as it wants. If you recall, a couple of days ago, we came off of this 1634 daily area here. They popped all the way up into our 1744 monthly, and it's still, the indices still went up because I think it's so suppressed right now underneath that 1744 that they're, it doesn't really matter. Now we pop that just like we did over here. Remember what happened over here? We popped that and they flushed the indices hard, and we came down and it reclaimed it, flushed it again. This is, this is our big above below here. The cleaning lady, tell you nobody got time for that. Tell you you're not a dirty person. Busy trading right now. Oh, look at this. Isn't this the chick, Jamie Presley? Isn't that what's her name from Batman? Harley Quinn? Isn't that her? She's going on OnlyFans now. It's crazy. Yes, Tim, I'm going to give you my phone number. We should talk. I think I like you a lot. I think you and I are going to be good friends. You and I have a lot in common. All right, let's pull this over here. Z, where are you at? I know you're in Cali. Where are you at? Are you in San Francisco, San Diego? Where are you at? Or none of the above? Well, I mean, of course, right? Like, those are the hot spots. But I spent a lot of time in the Golden Triangle, or the Golden Triangle, or you want to call it Green Triangle, up in Northern California, that whole area. I actually used to have a couple of dispensaries, and so I had some friends out there. I used to spend a lot of time in California because you guys got the best. You're ocean grown, baby. You know what I'm saying? That OG. You guys got it going on in California with the chronic for sure. So everybody wants to claim they got the best, but Cali truly has the best. Sacramento, East Bay area now. That's what's up. Okay. So keep it real with me. I mean, it's terribly expensive there to live there, right? Just taxes in general. Like, forget about like where you live, but no, it's not terribly expensive. I always figured I needed to be rich to live there, just with you guys' taxes out the ass. Relative, yeah, fair enough. That might be because I want to live in Sausalito. That might have something to do with it, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Sausalito is awesome, though. It's so sick. That's like, I love it. You only visit? Yeah, me too. I can't afford to live there. I mean, the cheap houses are $1 million, you know? Are you there too, V? Are you in Cali or did you move? I thought you were in Midwest now. Oh, you were a while ago? Okay. Cali has affordable areas. Well, you guys aren't telling anybody about them, that's for sure. Because as far as I was aware, it was all expensive. Keeping it hidden from the public. Yeah. I know this sounds crazy, but like, I lived in Chicago I did Denver for a while, but I've lived in Chicago like 20 plus years, right? And my father's getting old, my parents are getting older. And so I was always working at institutions in Chicago. I worked at a bunch of different like real prop firms, not like prop firms we know them today, like, institutional type prop firms. Had Garrett's Popcorn, that's right. And I worked for a few hedge funds. I traded on the floor as a market maker, whatever. And my father got old and he basically needed my help, right? So like this weekend, I'm going to my mom's for Mother's Day. And of course, on Mother's Day, she's like, "Hey, by the way, can you haul some dirt for me, drill some holes in my pots and, dig some stuff for me?" I'm like, "Okay." I thought I was coming to take you out, but I guess I'm going to work. So, I basically moved closer to kind of help them out as they've aged. And, obviously there's no like financial epicenter. And I moved to Indianapolis. And it's like 3 hours from Chicago. So it's not too far, but, there's no financial district here. So, it kind of changed my aspect of, my professional career. So we moved to this place right outside of Indianapolis. It's called Carmel, Indiana. It is so nice. Like, I cannot even express into words how nice it is. I mean, everyone's yards are manicured. It's suburbia. Don't get me wrong. It's a big difference from the city, but they have everything here. I mean, there's nothing that Chicago has that they don't have here. They got Lou Malnati's, Giordano's. They got amazing food, Louis Vuitton stores, every single thing that you could think of. Just unbelievable. And it's relatively inexpensive. Like, it's compared to the city, it's relatively inexpensive. We get a lot for your money here. Taxes are cheap. Food's cheap. I absolutely love it here. And I'm like, don't tell anybody about this place because then everybody will want to move here. It is freaking awesome. Love it. I never thought I would say that about Indiana either, but it is truly
That's
awesome.
why you don't tell me where you live.
Yeah, right. You'll see. I'm gonna have you come in. You're gonna see when you get here. I'm gonna be like, dude, this is fucking sweet. I want you to move here. I'd love to have you move here. We could buy a little warehouse thing and turn it into an office and set up big servers and shit. It'd be fun. So, hey, your mom requests whatever she wants. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. She knew the right day to ask, see, for sure. I thought I was coming to make dinner or breakfast, and instead she's like, oh, while you're here, you're going to do some gardening work. Yeah, Carmel, Indiana. Look it up. Look it up. It's got it's one of the top 10 high schools in the United States. I mean, everything here is just incredible. It's rated one of the top 10 places to live by, I don't know, many publications in the United States. It is a phenomenal place. You would not think of it. If you literally Googled top 10 places to live, Carmel, Indiana, it pulls up like 5 news articles about it. And the high school is super highly rated. 6,000 kids at this school, but they have everything. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. They have such a crazy athletic department there that one of the girls just won the gold medal in the Paris Olympics for swimming. She's 17 years old. I mean, this is the kind of caliber of, athlete and academic that's coming out of there. It's incredible stuff. Yeah. If we bring Rob here, he's just going to scare everybody away. So check this out right here. Carmel, Indiana consistently ranks top places to live in the United States. Number 2 in 25-26 by U.S. News Report. High schools, whatever, affluent village, West Clay, amenity-rich farms, whatever. Number 2? That's a pretty impressive number of top 10 places to live in the United States. I'm sorry, but that's crazy. And their high school is like top 10 in the country as well. So it was made. I mean, my son went to Chicago public schools, which are probably the worst in the country. I mean, I don't know. You guys have some bad schools in Cali too, maybe Inglewood or some shit. But I swear to God, Chicago schools, they are the highest paid teachers in the country. They make at least $100,000 a year because they went on strike for it. And I think they have the highest rate of illiteracy out of all the high schools or all the school districts in the United States. Like kids, they have like a 47% illiteracy rate coming out of high school in Chicago. It's pathetic. How's New Mexico, Rob? I know you guys like your meth out there.
Oh God!
It's amazing you have all your teeth. When I met you, I was like, I'm just waiting.
Hey, so, geez,
I was just waiting for you to come on the stream with no teeth. I'm like, this
exactly.
You got a good school system out in New Mexico? I know that your son was
my
taking.
kids got lucky and went to a really good school. It's ranked. It's a charter school that was ranked one of the, again, like similar, but I think it was ranked 6th in the country or something. It's crazy good. Like even in the 6th grade, like I remember my daughter's history teacher had a PhD in history. It was pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's a really special charter school. So like by the time my son started at university, he already had 40 credits coming in from high school.
Damn, that's dope.
Pretty nuts. But again, that is an exception to the exception to the rule. Most schools here aren't so good.
Right.
At all. Yeah. And I was reading recently that I didn't appreciate this, but like 60% of the United States adults only have like a 6th grade reading level.
Stop.
That's shocking.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't it amazing?
Not to beat up on Americans, or anything, because I am one, obviously, but I swear, like, in European countries, they speak like 4 languages. You know what I mean? It's common for people in Europe to speak multiple languages, and here we can barely speak our own,
Yeah, there was a joke when I used to ride bikes over there that if you spoke one language, you're bilingual, third language, you're trilingual. If you only speak one language, what are you? American?
Yeah, right? Yeah, we speak jive over here.
I speak fluent jive.
We're jive turkeys. Jive turkeys. Yeah. Crazy.
You know the woman who did that scene, right?
No, who's that?
She was the mom who played June Cleaver.
Oh, no joke.
But that airplane scene is even funnier.
Oh my God. Like you said before, that's stuff we could never have on TV today. Everybody's so fucking soft now. You're scared to hurt anybody's feelings. Yeah.
They are making a new Spaceballs too, even though the director is 90 something.
Are you kidding me? Mel Brooks?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be doing it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a new Spaceballs.
I'm sure his son is like
orchestrating it. Yeah.
Would be my hypothesis.
Spaceballs is an absolute classic. Oh my God, it's one of the best. Yeah, there's Rob. Yep, exactly. Every time I think of New Mexico, I think of Rob and meth. I don't know why. It's that, and he doesn't sleep, and he takes a lot of Adderall. You know.
It's Adderall. Don't you understand?
I'm pretty sure Adderall says methamphetamine salt on the side.
Pretty much right on it.
Yeah, right. I handcuff him to his desk and only feed him Adderall for lunch.
Exactly.
Can I tell you, somebody on YouTube wants to know, that I learned from the cool tech guys, and can I tell you more about them? I mean, yeah, so the answer is yes. I've had multiple mentors over the course of 10 years. When I left the institution side of things, you have to understand, when I came from the institution, I was a non-directional market maker. So I did not care about which way the market was going. I was trading on the floor at the time. I was actually working tag team with my friend. He was on the floor. I had a tag in my ear, a headphone in my ear, and we were working tag team. That, and I had all the contacts with the hedging suppliers. I was actually in the dairy pit at the time, so we were doing cheese, whey, and milk, which was kind of wild, but the spread was there and it made a lot of money. So long story short, get that aside, I didn't really have a great concept about directional trading because I was literally stealing the spread. I was always delta neutral. So when the floor closed and that whole thing ended, basically I had to reinvent the way that I traded. And so I tried a bunch of different methodologies that some made sense, some didn't. And ultimately, I've had many mentors over the years because, I've been doing this since I was 22 probably, and I'm 40, going on 44 this year. So, so long story short, I ran into some guys who had a Discord room. They were Canadians. So all the original cool tech guys were Canadians. There was 5 of them. Hey-o, Canada. And Zub knows a good portion of them. And a couple guys in here actually we're from one of the mentors, the mentees of the mentors. Anyways, long story short, there was 5 of them. They each had their own flair or way of doing things. Okay. And the 5 of them together came and made a process or a system. Now, I liked certain things that each of them had and had disagreements with each of them, right? So what I did was basically took the best from everyone and put it together into the process that I trade now. Obviously, they don't use market profile and stuff like that. That's stuff that I had taken from the floor. And so I combined, value trading with market profile, and then combine that with, the things that I learned from the individuals who essentially came up with cool tech. And together we have what I trade now, right? Which is kind of a blend of all the good stuff. And I left out the things to me that didn't quite make sense. So long story short, those guys ended up falling apart, just like every good band. Somebody wants to be the leader and nobody wants to be the follower. And unfortunately, that band of misfits was dismantled. And so a lot of those guys don't even trade anymore. I still in contact with a couple of them, but a lot of them are pretty much MIA. So as far as I'm aware, from the original mentees, I'm one of the last of the Mohicans. I actually, with Zug, I ended up in there's a bunch of Canadians in my room, by the way. I ended up in a Discord room that was made by the mentees of the original founders. And I've met a slew of great people in there who are actually still trading with me today. So, we've kept a lot of those original core members and core basics, and obviously have continued to grow and just refine the strategy and find things that, we think work better than some of the original concepts. And, that's basically what you're seeing. So can I tell you more about them? I don't want to talk about those individuals. They were good people, whatever. Some of them were a little emotionally disturbed, but, at the end of the day, I think anybody who's a professional trader is kind of fucked in the head, because you do kind of have to have something wrong with you to do this for a living. Like, you kind of got to be low key, like twisted degen status. So, just one of those things. Like, normal people don't like risk, right? It takes a very special individual to thrive and live on risk. And because as humans, we're built to be risk averse. And so when you find people that thrive in that environment, it's a very unique individual. So you can only imagine when you had 5 guys and they all wanted to wear the king hat, and these are all essentially, egomaniac degens. Eventually that doesn't last very long. So me and Zug saw some crazy shit, didn't we? Oh my God. You remember G-Easy, bro? Oh my God. That guy was a nutbag. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, you can't be a normie. That's for sure. Not to do this. Yeah, G-Easy he was cool, but man, let me tell you what, he was loose cannon. Rob, you missed those good days. Those were the original. Those were the original
degen days.
Yeah, original degen. Yeah, exactly. That's back when we were smoking bowls and trying to learn how to trade at the same time. It did not work out well.
It didn't work.
No, for whatever reason, I could not smoke a bowl and trade. I couldn't make any money. I don't know why, but it just wouldn't work. Yeah. Are they completely offline now? As far as I know, I don't see very many of them at all. I've actually looked for them. I can't find them. Every now and then I hear murmurs of one of the guys who, is one of the originals, but you don't hear very much like out online anymore. So as far as I'm aware, they've all kind of dwindled by the wayside. So, and they weren't young guys when I met them, right? So like, this was at least 10 years ago. And, these guys were in their late 40s, early 50s. So, they're retirement age now. And the OG, the OOG, the guy who really thought he was like the real winner, the breadwinner of the group, he was in his 60s already. So he's got to be late 70s as of right now. So yeah, most of these guys are not online anymore. Let them. Where was this in New York? V. Sounds typical of New York. Philly, same shit. Yeah, 30, 40 minutes. Yeah. The Russian women, they love the money. Do I cover containment? Yeah, we talk about containment quite a bit. It seems to be an interesting topic. That's one of the things that gets people caught off guard quite a bit, is when legs get contained. It's really all about understanding the larger leg. But yeah, I talk containment because that's really super advanced, right? Like in just normal day-to-day talk, we don't really talk about it. But, when I talk about the plans and when I give the plans out, obviously the levels I give, I understand containment very well. So I try to interpret it the best I can so people can get the actionable setup. But the answer is yes. Containment is covered, and it is a monster of a issue for a lot of people. A lot of times you'll see guys, and I'm sure you might even know this very well, the whole containment thing, life is going good, and then we base sideways for a little bit, and you go to get long off of the leg, and it just price goes right through it like it's not even there because that was contained. And you figure it out after the fact, but in the time being, you've lost a lot of money or blown a few accounts. So yeah, containment's an issue for sure. Billy, while we're waiting for 99, this could be a while. Yeah, no, Bill, I looked at that 10 as well, but God, talk about aggressive buy, the buying 74.10. I mean, you really had to be super thirsty to get that, but you're right, with VIX cooling down, it made a lot of sense. Try trading through TV with your broker. Schwab. Is anyone? So I use Iron Beam. I like Iron Beam. Iron Beam gives me solid commissions. I pay $1.35 round trip for micros and $2 flat, I think, for fulls. $4 round trip for fulls. No, that's not true. It's $3.85 for fulls round trip. I can give you my guy's number over there if you're interested. But I like Iron Beam. They connect. The broker orders work great. Everything's good. So if you're interested, I'll give you my guy's name. I actually just set up a second account, and it works great with TradingView. And the nice part is, just to let you know, Billy, they charge you $25 a month to have TradingView connection, which is, more than just paying for data on TradingView. But with that $25 connection from Iron Beam every month, you do get full CME data. So, you get to place orders and all that stuff, and then you don't have to pay for additional data, which is nice. So I like it. I'm a fan of it. And the execution works good and all that stuff. Yeah, I'll send it to you right now. I'll actually just post his number in the Discord. Anybody who's interested can hit him up. He's a smooth dude. Let's see. Just tell him I sent you. I don't get anything for it, but his ass needs to know that I'm working for him. Because I hit him up all the time, and you know how it is. It's like I try to get favors done, and if I'm not, it's more like, what have you done for me lately? You know what I'm saying? So this is what I've been doing for him lately. Pull up this email, actually. They're a pretty decent broker. For being a big shop, I get pretty good customer service. Brent's pretty on it, so I appreciate that. Because for me, I'm a big customer service guy, right? I work hard to make sure people are happy. I expect the same thing, and I feel like I actually rather pay a slightly bit higher fee to have excellent customer service. He gives me a great commission rate, and he gives me good customer service. So I'm super happy with him. There you go, Bill. There's his phone and email. Church. I hear church was the bomb. I've never been there, but I heard that was the place at the time. The guy that you talk to that has my course, he's kind of lost. He sure hasn't told me. So either he didn't buy the course from me and he's got a bootleg version, or he's never mentioned a word. So I know every single person by first name pretty much who's bought my course, and I've worked with everyone hand in hand. So I don't know who you're talking to, but it's not anybody I know. So he must be sharing it with somebody else. That's all I got to say. Anybody who has a question about my stuff can come to me anytime, and I'll answer it. My course is so thorough and easy to understand that, I truly believe that if somebody takes my course in a matter of months, that they can become a profitable trader. It's all about being patient and understanding the process. a lot of people's issue in trading is they're not patient. They won't wait for the setup. They feel like they always have to be doing something, and that's one of the things I feel bad about, especially this week for the people in the Discord room, is we've had very limited trades. I am a big 4-hour daily guy. That is where the high probabilities live. I have a 70% win rate because I wait for the levels I know that matter, right? So if I actually let some of these trades play out, it's probably a much higher win rate than that. But the simple facts is if you can be patient and wait for the process, the rest just comes together. Really, I truly feel that a lot of people miss the biggest part about being a professional trader, and it is truly being patient. Waiting for the stuff that matters. People feel like they have to trade every single day. I gotta get a trade. I gotta make this happen. Man, you don't have to do shit. Like, I have to wait for high probability trades. I would rather wait 2 days for a good setup than take bullshit trades that could perhaps lead to losses that aren't high probability, and then I have to spend 2 or 3 days making them up. I'd just rather wait. It's just not worth it to me. For me, it's the time. It's not even the money, it's the time. If you sit here and you play around and you make mistakes because you're not patient, you cost yourself time. That is the one thing I can never get back. I can get money back. I can buy new accounts. I can do a lot of other shit. I can't ever get my time back, and I hate wasting time. So. Doesn't sound to me like I know your buddy who's got my course. So my guess is he didn't get it from me. That's another thing. Pirating is crazy. Anyways. So, Rob, I got to ask, did the algo get long this morning? Is it like long sitting here doing nothing?
Oh, it did not.
Okay. I figured on this last pullback that it took.
It might have, yeah.
Not that I wanted to. Don't get me wrong. But,
right. No. It never got back to its pullback because the top of the range was pretty far down there. And once it popped it just never came back.
So here's our little indie that I was telling you about that I've been kind of tinkering with.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. What are you going to say?
It basically broke above that opening range, right? Right to start, and the pullback wasn't deep enough.
How deep did it need to go? I'm just curious.
Basically 74.01.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
To get the long?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's where I wanted to get along too. So
exactly.
That's why I'm sitting here doing nothing. So how do you think we should play this, Rob, since we're just talking? Oh, hang on. Kay, you out of here? Great week, Kay. Bro, you did excellent this week.
Amazing.
Bro, you had extreme patience. We got that long last night. You were getting so good, bro. Honestly, ever since you grabbed that course, I've just seen him fucking explode. So highly impressive, Kay. Keep up the good work. You made plenty of money last night. You don't need to be here. Get your ass out of here. Go enjoy. Go touch some grass. I'm going to do the same in about an hour. So learn from the best. Bro, we're a team in here. As you know, we all do this together. So I just point you guys in the right direction. So anyways, have a great weekend. So Rob, I got a question for you. And since we got everybody in here, it doesn't really matter. It's something you and I should probably talk about another time. But so check this out. So here is this this thing that I've been working on, right? The high probabilities for the IB breaks. So check this out. We actually had the IB break. We're expected to break the high. We have basically a 90% plus chance to break this high. We would have triggered this at 74.12 is when this basically told us that we should, look for a close of, a pop of the IB high. How do you think we're going to work this as far as stop management and stuff like that, and just actual entry? Because I haven't quite figured out how to do this yet. Because we can't just get long. You know what I mean? have you thought about like how we do things like this? This is kind of like the 80% rule. It's the same.
Yeah, I was well,
concept.
yesterday's I think was the one that threw me off because you couldn't like the thing if you would have put your stop, say the swing low of a 15-minute candle or something.
Right.
Like I think we have to find logical places where if the one thing you could do is say, okay, here's my target, and then what's 2 to 1 from that, and just set your stop mechanically off of that.
That makes sense.
Like, oh, my stop's 10 points away. I did want with a 5-point stop with no structure, which is scary, but that is one option.
Gotcha. Would you use any type of order flow mechanics, or you just say, hey, listen, this is where we're at. This is the probabilities. Here's the.
Yeah, I think you just go pure off probabilities, and then we could dive into if there's any order flow that is like additional help.
Yeah, another thing I've been tracking too is how often does it touch the IB mid before retracing back to, complete the, set up the wick of the high or the low from a probability perspective. So Tim, are you in the movie business? I heard you say yesterday that you worked in Hollywood with movies and stuff, and that would be kind of as a concept of, the places that you were hanging out at. Right? I know that you said you were the makeup artist, but no, I'm just kidding. The marketing guy. We have a crazy crew in here. People on the Discord. These are all like, we have a bunch of ballers in here. So are you still in the movie business, Tim? Shane, no, I don't track anything for NQ or YM. CFO for movies and TV? Damn, son. So I'm going to give you a script. I want to do a story about my life. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Shane, I don't track anything but ES. Rob might. You should ask Rob. Rob tends to, if it's got data in the futures, he's tracking all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So he wants to know if you've been tracking IB, like orb stuff for both ESNQ and YM.
So I have been, not for YM yet, but I have definitely for NQ, and I've built like, I basically have built a database of daily data of like 165 different features. It goes back 5 or 6 years on all that stuff. And so once we get this orb stuff and other things like launch for what it is, then we can start, we're going to be combing through that data to help do things with the other assets as well. But yeah, definitely been tracking the data and pulling it in.
So Rob, I want you to, because we got an hour to kill, right? While we're just sitting here chilling, waiting on the trade. I want you to tell these guys, and I know it'll probably go over the heads of a lot of people, but that's okay. It still sounds cool to hear you talk about it.
So good.
Tell these guys about what we are dealing with on the Scalp bot right now. So just so you guys know, Rob and I are making automations. They're called Emergent Edge. Some of you guys are already aligned with our products. We'll be doing a webinar here in 2 or 3 weeks as we officially launch it on our side, to the public. But Rob is working on a second strategy called Emergent Edge Scalp, and it takes about 5 or 6 trades a day, and it looks for 2 points and 4 points with a 1.5 point stop. It takes a lot of trades, but it has a very high win rate, 3% or 3.0 Sharpe ratio. It's insane. So, long story short, what the back tester shows versus what is happening in real life are complete contrast different. And it's funny because, and the reason I want you to go into it, Rob, is because I want people to understand that it's one thing to make a profitable strategy, right? Like, some people work years or their whole lifetime to get one profitable strategy, something that actually works. Then we've created the strategy, but now it's not just the strategy that's the issue, right? Now we actually have the internal mechanisms that are causing an issue because of how fast the execution works. Would you mind just kind of elaborating on? Because I think it's cool. Unfortunately, it's kind of it's a thorn in our side as far as getting this thing into production. But I love for people to hear kind of what you're doing because I think it's neat. So.
Oh, sure. If it's not too boring, if everyone gets bored, just say something in chat and I'll stop.
Don't worry, Tim will say something.
Yeah, so basically, you have this strategy. We built it off of range bars instead of like time-based bars. And so range bars are kind of neat because they allow us to see from like an order flow perspective how much time it basically takes to get from point A to point B. So it's a little easier to like measure acceleration, things like that, without getting at the atomic level with, looking at just raw tick data all the time. And within each one of those range bars, we do look at like, some of the underlying structure. We look at the delta, the relative volume, and number of trades and things like that, as well as like the speed of how the tape moves. And so there are times when the back test in real life we're matching up identically and perfectly, which is what we expect. But there was other times where it was taking trades just slightly off, and we're trying to figure out why. And what's happening is on range bars, sometimes you get instances like in the past 2 weeks, we had, I think it was 364 range bars that had 0 millisecond time duration. These basically, they were instant. So you had times where, imagine if there were just two traders and one was saying, I want to buy it here, and the other one was selling, I want to buy it 100. The other guy's saying, I'm going to sell it for 110. And the buyer puts in a market order and it just jumps 10 points instantly, right? Because there's no volume in between. That would be why a range bar could move so fast with no time or anything underneath it. And so the back tester has no problem sort of like filling, giving fills in those areas. But real life, trying to execute a trade in 0 milliseconds is harder than it sounds. So we basically tweak the back testers and the strategy to make sure that if we does get like invalid trades, to like negate those from the pool, so it won't do those things. And the other thing we're doing is having doing a little bit better modeling on fill rates and things like that. So I mentioned we had to take profit at a certain level. If the back tester sees that price hits that level, well, then it would give us the fill.
Yeah, right.
And in reality, on some of these levels, if there's already 200 sitting orders and we're 202 and it doesn't fill that, well, then in real life you're like, wait, it hit my target, but I never got filled. That also changes the way the backtest results look from real life, and so now we're modeling that out as well. And we've gotten pretty good at now the backtest modeling lining up almost perfectly with reality. That's been it's actually pretty cool on this fast of a strategy where, if you're 50 milliseconds off sometimes, then you don't line up with your backtest. But with a couple of these like tweaks and understanding at a very fundamental level how the backtester is modeling things and how the strategy is implementing that in real time and bringing those two things together, we're actually able to model it really high accuracy, and that's actually been super exciting. So what first started out is, wow, how come our actual fills aren't looking the same way as the backtest, has turned into, oh, this is actually really good now. We can, our future strategies as well as this strategy, we can have insane confidence that what we're modeling up and mocking up will match what reality is.
And I think one of the biggest things about this strategy that most people probably wouldn't normally see is sometimes we can get an execution and a fill in 50 milliseconds. Like that's a common problem. I don't want to say a problem, but an occurrence, right? Would you agree, Rob, that that's like,
yeah, absolutely.
So
I mean,
one of the
things happens just so fast.
It's like instant almost.
it feels like instant. We can actually place an order and filled before the brokerage like talks back to Sierra Chart and says, "Hey, you placed an order. Here's where your target is."
And that was another problem, right? You basically we were getting filled on our first target and a full stop on the runner.
Because it wasn't moving to stop fast enough.
Yeah,
it didn't know the first one had gotten filled.
That's how crazy fast that happens, right? So it's like, okay, so you develop an awesome strategy, then you go to implement it, and then you realize, holy shit, I have to deal with broker relay problems and how fast they can communicate things that are actually happening, which is stuff that I never would have thought about, that honestly would never be able to deal with if it wasn't for you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like you've made all that possible. But I just think it's so cool the way that you've been able to kind of dissect and understand.
It's been a journey, and you can't do things like just have like a generic, this normally takes this much time, and put in like a common delta lag or something like that. You actually really have to model it out pretty precisely to make it work properly, because it changes all the time. Like sometimes we get fills that are just amazing, and other times you're like, wait a second, it went through my price, sort of like that image that you showed, and I still didn't get filled.
Right.
And that does happen sometimes with some of those vesting limit orders for targets.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It's super, like, it's such like atomic level work that it's the end result is everything's going to be great, and for me personally, it's very rewarding that like the backtester is reality. Because if you've seen any backtest results from like, I think TradingView's about the worst, like it has such optimistic fills that
right?
Like you're never going to get them. They're not going to happen. And so, how do you model those fills so they are not optimistic, but they actually match reality? So when you do build something, within some sort of performance envelope, it's going to look like X.
So Shane was asking is it other algos or HFTs, are they looking at the same price as we are? I don't think that's exactly, I think it's just a thick order book, right? Isn't that kind of what you're dealing with right now?
Yeah, and just the speed of latency back and forth between when we find something out and when something happens. And like, this is beyond latency of just like, just co-locate your server. No, it's still like, there's still a little bit more going on.
Yeah.
The one thing to know about like other algos and HFTs looking at the same price is oftentimes, especially in the retail space, HFTs have that kind of like, I'm gonna say like mythical quality in terms of people just think these things just like print money and how they work. And for a long time, they really did print money because it was complete arbitrage. But nowadays, it's, their win rates are still like 50-50. They're just going for one tick at a time, and their commissions are so low, they're able to make it work. And oftentimes, they're not really looking at price or anything structurally in the higher time frame. They're literally looking at the flow of all the limit orders coming in, and they're looking at how to jump in front of people or how to front run things, and they're playing like a different game, if that makes sense.
Well, it's like the conversation you had yesterday with your guys, from Bridgewater, who were making their own chips so they could shave nanoseconds.
Yeah. It's a very different game.
So did you think that
we're all playing soccer, but the difference between what the midfielder does and the goalie does are entirely different. So
that's fair. So did you think when we started this journey, making all these algos and starting Emergent Edge and all this other stuff, that you would be running in, like, did you foresee these type of issues ahead of time, where you're like, okay, this might come up at some point, or is this all new discovery for you as well?
Oh, so I knew these things kind of existed, but I really felt that they were a bit more
everybody else's problem.
Yeah, everyone else's problem. Nothing that I would like code up kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or problems that I wasn't going to run into. And on like this original one, this orb strategy, that's not a problem because it's trading off of 1 minute charts and everything is fairly straightforward. But when you start trying to do something, I would say just a little bit more exotic, all of a sudden the rabbit hole gets really deep, really fast, and it's been a huge learning curve on how to approach that stuff and sort of like model it in a way that matches reality, so you can have that confidence in what you're standing on, and you can like stand up, feel really good about what you've done.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
It's pretty cool.
Just real quick in terms of the market, show you guys what's happening up here. We went up, they trapped a bunch of buyers up here at the highs. That basically means we've had a large number of buyers who couldn't push price higher. They pulled back a little bit, they popped back up, and these guys once again they obviously bought a lot trying to clean up that IB high. They couldn't do that again, so these buyers got trapped. Over 2,000 buyers stuck at the highs. If they can't, a lot of times these buyers or even sellers at that point, if they get stuck, like down here, they tried to sell and they got stuck, they push price up. The same applies for the trapped sellers or trapped buyers, we rotate lower. And obviously when we come back up to this area, this could potentially get a reaction. So we'll see. As you were talking, Rob, I was watching these guys get stuffed like 2,000.
Yeah.
2,000 contracts went off up there. I'm like, well, this should be interesting. So we'll see. We will see.
The other thing I was just going to throw out there is I think in the retail space, if anyone is interested in going down like the algo path of their own and sort of experimenting, like really try to stick to like daily candles, like higher time frame, because what happens is on the shorter and smaller the time frame, the more noise that gets introduced into the process and the harder it is to sort of like model that execution. So if you did find something like that you liked or thought something was interesting, like I go to the highest time frame you can, that you can physically handle. So that's like some of the big educators in this space. One of the guys who won like the Robbins Cup, Devin Davey, with it, like he basically says, he doesn't recommend anything smaller than basically 4-hour candles and prefers daily candles for all of his students.
Boy, that sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why.
Boy, wonder where we've heard that before.
Exactly.
I'm all about the 4
Which is also like antithetical to everyone's dopamine wants,
Of course. Of course. And that's why most people trade in Q, because they get that fix. You know what I mean?
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. Rob is that.
These are choices.
Yeah, these are choices. Right.
I'm not addicted.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, I live on the 4-hour and daily. That's where we get the best reactions. And, I feel like the highest probabilities are there. The only issue is, and it's normally not an issue unless unless it's a week like now, is, for me, it's not an issue. You get 1 or 2 trades a day. I think that's perfect, but they're all bangers, right? But when you're cruising all-time highs like this, it really makes for a muted trading environment while we're waiting for support to form. What was the name of the guy that won the Robbins Cup? Did he have was it algo based? Did it with an algo?
Yeah, it was.
Gotcha. So you're telling me it wasn't ICT?
Well, what he chooses to do is to destroy accounts.
He bombs on purpose.
Prove to his disciples that he knows what's up.
Well, he does it because he knows that the algos are watching him.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he actually he's given the secrets to all the algos.
That's right. Why he revealed his secrets to those people, I don't understand. But No, I don't.
No, I don't. I'm honest with myself.
If I'm keeping it real.
Like, okay.
Yeah, he's made a lot of money. He's made a lot of money from the education side. I give him that.
I just can't imagine like getting up every morning and knowing that you're going to just tell people that, course, hauled away in a van by Secret Service, and then
They revealed the world
they
to
imbued you with like knowledge of the algorithm. It's just
I mean, it sounds logical. Tell me the part that sounds illogical, please.
well, yeah. Where is this wrong?
Yeah, I think he's right on point.
Oh my God.
I got to be careful. He's got a lot of disciples. People will be TPing my house before this is over.
Yeah, I know he does. Like I know a couple of those people, and it's hard to. It's yeah.
Yeah.
It does have that like cult-like vibe at times. It's, they're very dedicated.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's people who've been able to chop it up and take segments of it. But to be honest, they're basically just doing some things with the smaller time frame that we would do on the higher time frame.
Yeah. Well,
for people who don't know, like when he talks about fair value graphs, that's just single prints on a 30-minute TPO chart. Like he hasn't invented anything. These are just concepts have been repackaged slightly, and he's got his own like little.
Oh, he's a marketing master.
He's really good at marketing, evidently. But you know, for me, it's like his brand of marketing is a big turnoff. But for obviously a large swath of the population, just
well, I mean, people like chaos, right? Like he loves to kick the hornet's nest. You know what I'm saying? And some people love most people love chaos. I mean, look at X, right? It's all bad. You know what I mean? Like
Like I remember like back in the I remember a woman I used to work with back on the East Coast in like 2002, and she was going to start working for Vivendi, helping with their reality TV shows.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, why would you get into that? Like, and she's like, they're like the cheapest thing to manufacture. You know, you don't have to pay writers really. The drama sort of writes itself, and they're super low cost to produce, and the stickiness is insane once you have a hit. And it just never like that whole type of conflict entertainment just never resonated with me. But I can see nowadays, 20 years later, you've got people like ICT kind of like leaned into that to help tell their story.
The drama, the drama. People like drama. People like drama. They do.
You do.
Yeah, I'm like such a drama-free individual. Like, I just want to be left alone.
Exactly. I don't understand.
The thing is, I don't have time to argue with people I don't know online.
Word. Someone on the internet is wrong. I must correct them.
Yeah. We can't survive. You're right, Francisco. We literally can't survive with drama as traders. We need a peaceful environment. Our Zen has to be, centered. I meditate on a daily basis. I need my Zen. I got to be centered the whole nine. Best thing you heard all week. That's why I got a good woman too. Her and I never fight. That's a big deal, right? I feel like one of the most important parts of success is finding a good partner. Men, women.
Yeah, you have to have someone who's supportive.
Yeah, for sure.
What you're doing, because what we're doing here is
straight DJ.
Yeah. Really can be.
Trust the process, not the.
And also, you can sound like one of those, you sound like one of those partners with grand ideas that never delivers.
True.
You could do it.
True.
You got this. So having a supportive person in your life is
certainly helps. Yeah.
Certainly helps.
I like that, Francisco. I like that thought. Yeah, Shane. Almost like Men in Black stuff that Rob's working on. It's crazy. Don't underappreciate the mute button, for sure. Dude, I think I mute way more people on X than I follow, for for sure. It's all bullshit on there. Like 99% of it is complete garbage. It's crazy. And there's a lot of look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah, I mean, that whole look at me culture is like the reason I'm not on Facebook or Instagram or any of that stuff. Like, I can't deal with that.
No, definitely not. Rob, you ever been to a high school or college reunion? Do you ever go to your Yale stuff?
I went to this is gonna sound like a weird reunion. Like, my roommate at the Naval Academy died in Afghanistan, so I went back for that, and there was like a mini reunion. There's a couple things for like Yale where we get together occasionally.
Okay, I was just.
But it's a small.
When you go to Yale, because it's very Ivy League, right? Is everybody like, yes, look at me, I'm doing this now? Is that
some? You get all kinds. You get all kinds because the business school I went to is actually known. It's known for producing a bunch of nonprofit kind of leaders. So you get like all kinds. You get people that like help fund like some of the biggest, food nonprofits in the world. And then you get people who are like, doing rails of coke on their for Goldman or whatever. So you kind of get a big diversity of folks.
Okay.
I was surprised how diverse it was, to be honest.
I just figured with it being Yale, I was like, yes.
Yeah, you do get.
This is what I'm doing now.
I think that happens initially, and then as time goes on, it goes on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the first one, everybody's like, yeah, it's ever since school.
Yeah. If you're gonna really find that, what's kind of funny to see is there's something called the game, which is the Yale football team versus the Harvard football team.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you have basically a battle of the nerds, right? Like both these teams against any real football team are gonna suck.
Yeah.
But then people come in there with like who am I cheering for? Really? You can't tell?
Yeah.
No.
Do I not have my sweater tied around my neck the right way?
Yeah. Father.
Exactly. I took Jake to Notre Dame, like I was telling you. It seemed very Ivy League there, and because it is, right? It's very exclusive. It's 8,000 people, and top 20 colleges in the United States, whatever. And I had that feeling, everybody there was kind of a little bit, I don't want to call them overachievers, but it just seemed like, the crew that comes out of there is very much like, yeah, it's my father sent me here. Yeah. My daddy. Yeah, exactly. The uppity lawyers. Yeah.
I remember one of the things that I thought was super funny when we went and visited Texas Tech. My daughter is this is recent for people who don't know, like this was like last month or whatever. They have this amazing like workout facility. Evidently it's like one of the biggest gyms in the country for their college, and it's got like a rock climbing wall and a bunch of stuff. But what I thought was hilarious is they have like like a lot of places they have like big rows of stair steppers and indoor cycling situation stuff. And the amount of young women that had completely matching outfits down to their bag and their phone case, I was not prepared for.
At the gym in college?
Yeah. Like this one girl who I was going to guess she was an influencer because she was literally on her phone and talking the entire time and like holding it up like she was
streaming or whatever
while she was on the bike.
Yeah.
But she had a very unique like 4-screen top with some white lines going through it, and her phone case was exactly the same, and it wasn't like some brand, it was just she coordinated it.
Yeah, she was in it.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's insane to me how much money some of these influencers make, though.
Oh, yeah.
Aggie's an Instagram whore, right? She, for whatever reason, she loves it. It's so weird. All she looks at is other girls working out, which is strange. But and she's constantly buying that stuff off the advertisements. But she shows me some of these influencers that she would be looking at just from a couple years ago, and some of them are like huge now. You know, like the leaps and bounds, like the money that they make from just posting on Instagram is absolutely insane. It is insane. It's a whole new, I don't even know how to say. It's like a whole new thing of millionaires, you know, like a whole new group.
It's really strange because I think I was reading in like Wall Street Journal, they're talking about exit interviews from high school for kids about like what they wanted to do when they're going to grow up. You know, the classic, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer,
right,
engineer, and you know, they're starting to be more. Yeah, it used to be like, oh, but it's sort of like aspirational, crazy thing was I want to be a professional, you know, baseball player or whatever, and now that's turned into more like influencer stuff.
Yeah, I want to be a professional streamer. Yeah. My son thought he plays a lot of video games, my oldest. He thought he was going to be a professional streamer. So I said, you know what, I'll go with that. I mean, if it's whatever, like, so I buy him a bunch of shit to do it. And he realized after 2 months that he had 3 people watching him on Twitch, that was probably a little bit harder than he thought. I'm like, yeah, dude,
I think it's super hard to fill that dead air for like 4 to 6 hours and also be super competitive. And yeah. Also, I think it's just hard for me to like, watching other people play video games for 6 or 8 hours a day just seems like
insane, right? My kids do that all the time. Like, why don't you
just like, it's not my.
Why don't you play the game yourself?
Yeah.
I haven't quite figured that part out yet. Are we finally gonna get to come down in here to our support or what?
We're trying. It's just been kind of it's just now accepting here, you know, which means to me it's going to go higher.
At some point, yeah.
At some point. No, this is all-time high for all time, Rob.
Right. What we need Trump to do is get up here and announce how proud he is that it's at 7,400. Remember last time he did it at 7,000, then it fell like 10% shortly after. It's like, thanks for the shout out, bro.
That's super helpful.
Yeah, right. Oh, let's see. Oh, good. I might actually get filled on my first order here for my Bitcoin call spread. I'm going to take 50% off on my first fill for these calls. I think that's okay, right?
Nice.
Yeah. It says I'm a penny away, penny and a half on these calls. So we'll see. This must be like an artificial level that it draws to kind of give me an idea of where price needs to be to meet my options expectation thing. We'll see. Because I don't know how it could. I mean, as time goes by, you know, the theta decays, and so I don't know if this continues to move higher or how that works with toss, but we're about to find out. Uh-oh, Bart's in the house. What's up, Bart? That's right. You know that horse. God, I feel like I've been riding a horse. I did legs yesterday at the gym or 2 days ago, and I literally walking bow-legged like I got a giant stick in my ass. It's terrible. Oh my God. Yeah, whoop whoop. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, it's terrible. You know what, Tony? That's a pretty good. Your kid's sharp on that one, bro. Yeah, done for the day, Bart. I actually caught the long last night in Globex Open. So I got long around 48 last night and rode it all the way up to 74.02. And then we caught the long this morning, and I'm just basically sitting here chilling, seeing if we can get a retest of 99 before we hop off the stream. Trump is going to be on the microphone today, guys, at 12 noon Eastern time. In 30 minutes, Trump's going to be on the horn. I don't really want to be around for that, honestly. I don't care what he's doing. I don't even care if he's christening little babies. I prefer not to be trading when he's talking, especially a scheduled announcement. So, do you know what he's going to be doing today, Rob? Because it wasn't a red tag event.
No, my guess is he's going to be talking about what's going on in the Gulf, just because that's top of mind for everyone.
So he's not going to be christening?
Data rattling, but...
So there's no baby christening? Is that what you're telling me?
No baby christening. There might be some more tariffs on Germany. You know, who knows?
Really?
Oh, God.
What's that about?
He's not happy that the EU countries aren't helping out more with his Gulf War stuff.
I mean, it's their choice, right? Like, whatever.
Yeah, it's like a mob choice. Yeah, it'd be really bad for something to happen in this nice restaurant you have here.
Oh, that's so funny. I never thought about it. I never thought about it that way. It's so funny.
Like, yeah, if you don't do what I want, here's more tariffs. Like, that's how he's being a petulant child.
Oh, shit.
I like it when you think, though.
I really hate for something to happen to this nice restaurant. Oh, my God. That was great. For all 200 people on the stream, please refrain from talking about Trump. That is Rob's absolute go-to guy.
Oh, yeah.
he was going to get a tattoo, but I've talked him out of it because he's only going to be president for 4 years. I don't think he should get a tattoo.
Oh,
It's okay, Rob. It's okay. I like him too. I'm just not getting a tattoo.
Yeah. I did find some doggy poop bags that were in his face that I'll.
You were thinking about ordering that?
I'm gonna buy and send you.
You're so funny.
I'm gonna post this in the chat here in Discord. This is NQ. There was a couple +1 tags on the standard deviation, but that same sort of look didn't happen in ES. I didn't take it.
No, we can't. We keep playing the regular RTHV web, but you know, how aggressively do you want to buy these highs? You know what I'm saying? So let's look at something. So look at this. Check this out. Remember me saying something about the IB mid? Look, they actually came down and touched IB mid perfect before we're starting to make our way up to the IB high. I think there's something to that, by the way. So note to self, just so when we start working on this strategy. Oh my God, that was too funny. Love it. Those are awesome, Rob. All right, this is what. Because the tattoo is just not enough.
The tattoos.
And just to be clear, I actually do like Trump, but Rob is not a fan. So I don't particularly care for some of his policy decisions, but I love his I don't give a fuck attitude. I'll say whatever I want. For me, that's what's up. But that fits my personality very well. So Rob, on the other hand,
exactly.
doesn't like me, doesn't like that or the other guy's attitude. So I think we got attitude problem. That was
Attitude adjustment.
that's right. This has got to fill sometime soon. I'm up.
I'm in denial. This is like, it's just like my kids getting older. I refuse to believe it's happening.
He is the president of the world. You're right. You're right. It's a nice country you got there. I hate to see you get tariffs on it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tariff relief. How's the economy going?
Right? How's that economy going? Oh my God, Rob. So funny. Did any of you guys in the room get all aggressive and buy this high?
No.
No.
Like I said, those were like the 3 trades. I that would have been in process for me for NQ, but I hadn't taken them.
It felt very for ES. It felt very like dangerous isn't the word, but thirsty. Like
Yeah,
I felt like you really needed to be super thirsty to buy that. Maybe I'm wrong, but for me, it was straight thirsty.
Like here on Australia, when I was looking at buying, I was a little confused with his in relationship.
See what the RTH side looks like here. Took a couple off VWAP to feel alive. Nice job, Signal. Had to, right? Like, otherwise, just sitting here rubbing a hole in your pants. Isn't that right, Zook?
I just posted something about it for ES, and this is where it gets a little confusing when you're like trying to play around with trending. It just wasn't trending hard enough for me to like get excited about these trades. But once it got within the 1 standard deviation, that first green arrow down,
yeah,
like I could have taken those 1 standard. The second one didn't even play for anything. The other one was lower, so I wasn't even going to take that. And there's another bounce that looked like that, but didn't make a high 9. And then so once it got into that first green,
your NQ trade looks a lot better.
Oh no, I was talking about the one you were showing.
Oh, okay.
Look at the green arrow. Yeah, right there. So that was starting to look like it was going to come back down into value.
Yeah.
Like it couldn't escape the +1 standard, but it could never even get down to VWAP. So
yeah,
for me, I think this has been tricky price action.
I mean, I will admit, in terms of playing the 1 standard, NQ is certainly much cleaner in that regards, especially with the big buyers capitulating at the lows and sellers. Like that was pretty sexy. So
yeah, those are pretty decent. But other than that, like I haven't seen anything decent.
Bart says NQ is going to go to 30,182. I don't. Is this where we're at right now? It's 195.
We're at 29,210 essentially.
Okay.
187.
Uh-oh, Bart's got the crystal ball out. He knows exactly where she's headed. Oh, SPY VWAP signal. Yeah, fair enough. I'm literally just sitting here waiting for 7,400. If it happens, I'll grab it. If not, then it's his life. Made a little 10 points at the open this morning, plus the 60 on the long last night. So sucks because it doesn't help anybody else who, just starting their trading day this morning. But this whole week has been kind of a little difficult with, with this massive move up. Oh, measured move. That makes sense, Bart. Piper loves that shit too. It's been a little difficult with this massive, we had a 3-day rally with no back tests, no support developed on the higher time frame. only to come down and hold this 4 hour and push us right back up. I really want to see this, start to digest this area. I don't even give a shit if we come up here, but let's just do this number for a little bit. That way we can get some stuff to play before we make our next leg up, if they're going to do it at all. But I'm pretty convinced this area down here, even if we were to sweep down, would hold us and take us back up. Very similar to like what we talked about before. So let me see if I can find this now that we're on the stream. Let's see if I can find the spot. I might as well toot my horn a little bit. Find it. Here we go. Rob, check out how well this worked. This is literally why I think, not why I think. This is literally what makes me, stuff like this is like everything else is noise. I just wait for the daily 4 hour level. If you recall, that's exactly what happened right there last Monday. And then this was Monday, just like this. This level here. Boom. That was it. That was all she wrote. As you guys know, looking at the same 4 hour, that's it right there. So with that being said, that's why I like this area so much again, which is 7250s. I see the same exact setup that we saw here happening there. So if it happens, at least we know what to do when we get there, what to expect. Obviously, history doesn't repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So. Oh boy. So looking at this area here, just to show you guys why, another reason why I like the 02. Look at this nice 4 hour here. Like I was showing you guys, we bumped our head on it multiple times. I also like the options pivot at 04. Big fan. And pretty soon we're going to close the 4 hour up here. If we close the 4 hour up here, it triggers to 99 as well. And then we've got that 1 hour leg up there at 98 to 99. So a lot of reasons for this to play. But again, this is going to become, I guess I'm going to go over this now because I don't know if they're going to get it before I get off of here. But this is going to be super important. This is going to be our next step for the progression higher. We either back test this and go higher, or we come back down. And then we check this area here. And this has got to hold. Otherwise, we definitely come lower. We start to fill this gap from a couple days ago. I don't know what it was, Tuesday, whatever. And then this is the 7260s. So that is how I see this going. And that's pretty much the main levels for us right now. As we continue to push super high like this, I mean, the picture remains crystal clear, right? So it's just about how just being patient, waiting for it to happen, and obviously holding through, the move with this high grind like this. We're all-time highs. We have low relative volume. Like we said before, we've already met our extended range or our range for the day. From the ETH session. The ETH session says we're going to move 79 points. We've already moved 86 on low relative volume. So we've already, we're already kind of there as far as market expectations on what we could move from, that perspective. So we shall see for sure. That doesn't mean things can't change quick, but yeah, Signal, you got that lunch money. It's about what I got this morning too, a little lunch money. But hey, listen, anytime the market's paying for our lunch, it's been a good day, So I think I'm going to bump this call spread up a penny and get filled on one of my short call spreads from Bitcoin. I hate to, but I don't want to be a dick for a penny. Seems like such a chump move. I should just wait. I'm going to wait till the end of the day. See what happens. Just so you guys know here, taking a look at the profile as well, we are still in IB, guys. Tim, this should be good. I just saw this out of the corner of my eye. Okay, all right. So we're still in IB, and there's an 89 or 87% chance that we're going to break the higher low. Right now, we're obviously pushing higher, so that certainly seems like a probability. If they do decide to push lower than that 709 spot that we continue to hold, we will come down here and fill this out. Do they break the IB low? I don't know. I doubt it. It really feels like we're going for the high at this point, especially with the large amount of support there at 02. But anything is possible, especially with Trump coming on the mic. So you never know. Never know. Just sitting here waiting. It's interesting to see how point of control and the value area low are sitting at the same spot because of how many times we've been down there. That also is a big indication for us. If they push below, we could come down pretty fast. Look at this low volume area in here. So this is a big inefficiency for me. Whether we get it today or next week, I'll be eyeing this for cleanup. So we'll see. It's funny, people seem to think that gaps have to get filled, right? Gaps got to get filled. Bullshit. Look at these. Look at this gap. You got a gap down here, monster gap here. This is an imbalance low here. And then another huge gap. They just keep pushing. If I had to guess, we got some more somewhere we didn't fill, but God, this is a monster gap. Unbelievable. So. Tim, where do you live? Are you in Cali too, since you're in the movie industry? Or are you on the East Coast? SoCal, West LA? Okay. That's what's up. All these Cali peeps. Waving the blue flag in here.
I lived in San Pedro for a while.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say anything, Yeah. So you live in the valley, bro? Are you totally in the valley? Or is that West Hollywood? It's West LA, West Hollywood. You're West LA with, okay, completely different. All right. See, I don't know. I don't know. So what time do you start trading then? Because I know Rob gets up at the ass crack of dawn, and I think you're an hour. Isn't he an hour earlier than you, Rob?
Yeah, he's an hour early.
So 5:30 is when the bell rings, Tim? 5:30, 6:30.
No, the bell rings at 6:30, but he gets up at 5:30.
Got you. Wow. I'm like still trying to like put caffeine in my bloodstream at 5:30. I get up at 5:30 and an intravenous hookup to my coffee pot. You ever seen those insulin bags that diabetics wear? I have that with my coffee pot. You wouldn't know anything about that, Rob, with your decaffeinated coffee.
You know, it's so weird. It's weird.
Do you know how to decaffeinate your own beans?
I mean, I know how, but I don't have all this stuff. It's
Gotcha.
crazy.
So what happens if you drink coffee? Do you like?
Oh, I just
Do you tweak out a little bit?
I get a little bit like tweaks in South Park, like a little jittery. But the big thing is like I get I have like more crashes and things like that.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Sort of like if you ate sugar in the morning kind of feeling. So I try to avoid that since we're trying to have our A game on all the time.
Yeah, that's why I don't smoke bowls in the morning before we get on.
Yeah, it's just
Same thing. Hey, you guys be good, Shane. Sorry it was kind of a big nothing burger today, but I appreciate you being with us. All we can do is wait, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if we were trying to force a trade, there certainly isn't one here. You have a great one. It's been wonderful having you in the room, by the way. So I look forward to seeing you next week. And I'll get that weekend review out. So make sure you check that on Sunday. Next week will be better. I agree. You just got to digest this bullshit up here. Figure out what happens next week. Yeah, we had 3 days of straight up, so it's like take that into equation. See you, homie. Rob, did your agent finally stop running after 18 hours?
pretty much, yeah.
Did it?
Working on it right now.
Okay. I saw some guy, and I'm going to say.
Yeah, you posted. Yeah, you gave me that link to that one.
Dude, did you see that guy? Some asshole had it going for 110 hours. I'm like, what? How? Why? Like.
That sounds like it's totally like some of those loops are not creation. They're like made up things. They're like made up tasks. What I mean is, I've inserted a virus into this file. I need you to comb through the file and like find it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So are they just trying to see how many tokens they can burn?
Yeah, they're trying to see like what they can get up to. It's almost like
I feel like that's the kind of abuse that causes these companies to shut that shit down. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Like why would you brag about it online? Oh, I'm using 5.5 on extra high. I'm using $25 every 5 minutes, and I've been doing it for 110 hours or some shit. It's like, dude, what are you thinking? Trying to ruin it for everybody else. It's like these assholes that commit crimes and post them on social media. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They had all these guys from the hood in Chicago posting pictures online with their Glocks with the auto mag. Like, did you know? I'm sure you knew that. Like, the back of Glocks, people are making these selector switches on them to make them fully automatic, and you can make them on a 3D printer. And so obviously guns are rampant in Chicago, especially in the hood. You know, everybody's got a gun. It's crazy, actually. Guns aren't allowed in Chicago, and the only people that don't have guns are the honest people. It's fucked up. So long story short, these guys, you know, a bunch of gangbangers or whatever online flexing all their Glocks with their extended mags and their auto things, dude, showing their face in the whole 9 yards. The feds came through and grabbed all of them, bro. I just saw the news thing. I'm like, why would you do that? You know, like, here I have something that's federally illegal. Let me get online and flex. It just seems insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It had something similar happen here in Albuquerque where there was these young kids that were, remember when Kias were getting sold fairly rampantly?
Yeah, they were super easy to steal. Yeah, the Kias. Yep.
Yeah, and they would go around and like film themselves
Breaking
back before them, stealing cars and then running around with guns. It's crazy.
Look how fast I can steal this. Let me post this to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right. That's what they say, that common sense isn't too common these days. I got to tell you, these streams keep me out of big trouble, guys. They keep me out of big trouble. We haven't done or gone anywhere in literally 3 hours. I'm looking at the candles right now. And, you know, it's easy to try to make something happen before the end of the day. So I appreciate you guys keeping me out of trouble. I know Rob never has that problem. He's so self-disciplined. He's one of the best.
Hard to keep. That's the big problem. Like when we were talking about smaller time frame, that's the problem. Like sometimes I like to get cute and look at the small time frame, and that's where, you know.
Dude, I already know. I had to hide it.
Yeah, that's where I turned into like one of those, you know, voodoo followers. Oh yeah, look at the way this bone is moving in the broth here. That means I should buy it here. Get into here.
The bone and the broth. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's long, man, with both hands.
It's been a while since I heard that.
Hey, Ryan, can I borrow your accounts to buy more?
The bone and the broth. It's not me,
So,
see.
yeah.
It's this guy. He's the entertainment. I'm telling
I mean, we definitely have to stay on the higher time frame wherever possible.
Oh.
I will. I think I had that big come to Jesus myself like a couple months ago where I gave back like 2 weeks worth of work and gains, like basically in like a 10-minute period in the same 20-point range by like buying and stopped out, buying and stopped out. But like, just seriously, what?
Yeah, and then when you pull out and like look at the 1 hour, you're like, wait a minute, we actually did not even move.
We didn't move.
Yeah.
But somehow I managed to lose all my money. Like, it's a gift. Like, I don't know. Like, I thought, you know, everyone does it, but it's still, in some weird way, it's impressive how much money you can lose so quickly when the market isn't moving.
You can talk yourself into something real quick, you know? And then when you get done, right, when you walk away after you've totally destroyed your ego and your account, and you look at it like, God, how could I have been so dumb? Like, at least that's what I think.
Yeah, I get in a total shame spiral.
Right,
then,
total shame spiral, yeah.
It's like,
The bone broth. I love that. we gotta keep that one around. I like that. Oh my God. The voodoo sticks.
It's totally where I go. It's
so funny, bro. You're a fucking trip. So I actually, as you know, when we first got together, I was high time frame, right? And then when I met you, of course, you've got all these cool little order flow things. Before I knew it, I'm looking at the fucking 800 tick chart.
Yeah, before you know it, you're ordering board phone fraud.
Right. And I literally was fucking dying on the inside, thinking everything was great, but slowly dying on the inside. And I just until recently, as you know, I mean, I literally had to hide every fucking thing. I got everything hid. I have a 5-minute tucked away in my chart book, but literally my smallest time frame on my that I look at is the 15-minute. Because I would just do dumb ass shit. And then it keeps me really aligned with the higher time frame, right? Because I'm like, okay, I need to wait for these bigger levels because I can't see the small, right? So I'm like, as long as I lean on
do it,
to lean on the bigger, makes way more sense. So you're funny though.
I'm probably going to jump off your short meal, so you need to stick around just because I'm trying to.
That's okay. Yeah, hang out with me for 10 more minutes. I'm just going to stay online for 10 more minutes. I've become I'm so busy, trying to get, we're kind of, both of us are kind of one-man bands over here trying to, run this whole thing. And I've gotten to the point now, and I don't want to call it laziness. I call it busyness, to where I pretty much, if something has an API access and I can put our bot inside the API, like that is always the go-to for me now. I try to get away from doing as much manually as possible because everything takes so much time, bro. So unbelievable. By the way, guys, I brought somebody in that's going to be doing trader checkups. His name is Victor. He's awesome. And I'm going to do a stream with him. We'll introduce him so you know who he is. I know that I have a ton of scammers impersonating me out there. I don't want you guys to, I want you to understand who this guy is. And if he's calling, it's okay to talk to him, or if he's reaching out to you. Basically, for the people on the team and some people listening on the stream as well, he's basically going to be doing follow-ups with people to see if you guys need anything. Do you need any help with anything? Do you understand how everything works? Is there something we can get for you or whatever to kind of help you, go along, and also kind of keep you abreast of some of the newer products that Rob is developing as well. But I just want to let everybody know that this guy's name's Victor. He's super smooth, and he's going to be helping us out starting next week. So expect to see him on the stream. He'll know what all that's about. But I actually have to get some things ready for him today, Rob, is why that came up, because, I have to set up all these Zapier webhooks, and I got to look and I'm like, dude, this is like, when you and I set up that Zapier stuff originally, this is like that all over again. It's just,
exactly.
I can see 10 hours worth of work in my future.
Just multiply times time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bob, you're right. Dude, that scammers are super sophisticated now. I swear to God, I wish they would spend a portion of the energy. Imagine how much money they could make legally if they spent a portion of their energy applying themselves. Because, dude, every day I'm kicking people out of the Discord that are impersonating Rob or I. There's like 10 accounts now on Substack that use my picture and have some form of Ryan Bailey Edge as their name. It's absolutely rampant. I have, people who know me in our Substack room. I mean, they're pretty keen to it in the Discord, but it still catches certain people off guard. And it's just a shame because, I wish these people would apply their talents better elsewhere. But yeah, it's super sophisticated. I love the people that pretend to be from Coinbase. You guys all got those? It's like, this is Coinbase calling about a breach of your account. I don't even have a fucking Coinbase account, first off. So I love that when they call. So it's crazy. Absolutely nuts. Well, guys, just to show you, I have, I'm going to get off here in about 7 or 8 minutes, but just to show you, I've literally been sitting here with resting orders layered into this spot. It is not happening. I just was sitting here waiting. So small enough size where it doesn't hurt me if something goes south, but also pretty confident in this spot. So I was ready to just take the orders as they come, and I could always add into it if I want to. But they are just not coming down here. I was just waiting to get filled. So unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen probably until, well, Trump's going to start talking soon.
Yeah, he's usually like 20 to 30 minutes late most of the time, it seems.
Well, he has to make a dramatic entrance.
Yeah, okay.
Rob, come on, Rob.
Yeah, and I think Carolyn Levitt's on like maternity leave, so like
Okay.
they had like Marco Rubio taking her job the other day. The guy's doing everything. He's like the ASA, Secretary of State.
He should be the next president. He's
doing it all.
Yeah, he's doing everything. I don't know what Vance does, actually. I still don't, other than make amazing memes, I'm not sure what he does. So.
Yeah, well, he's killed a pope.
He didn't kill the Pope.
He's shot down all the discussions in Iran. What do you want?
Who's in Italy, Francisco? Which one?
Marco Rubio was yesterday, at least.
Oh, okay. The markets will move more in 12 minutes at 1:30.
Yeah, I think that's
or
right.
12:30. Yeah. Well, what I want to do is I'm going to do the once over real quick. Guys, just go ahead and run this off here. Hang on. You guys know where I'm looking at to do some buying. If we come back down there, we've talked about the actionable setup of that this morning. If you're still around for that, I'm personally going to go touch some grass. And so highly recommend that everybody does that on a Friday. So hang on one second. I got something for you guys. So I'm going to walk through this one more time since we got a lot of viewers on here right now. So check this out. Again, guys, before I get off of here, make sure you sign up for how to trade the trade plan. This is going to be great. You can ask me any questions you want. Let me go over exactly how the trade plan works, what to expect. You know, we go through every section line by line, how the options vol levels work, the GEX levels, everything. When I'm all done with the pitch, when I say pitch, with the lesson, you guys can ask me whatever you want. I'm also going to be giving away 2 prop firm examinations. Right. So if you are there and you have put in a real phone number, not some bullshit, I will text you and, send you your free prop firm. So we're going to do 2 this time. I did 1 last time, 2 this time. And so I think that'll be fun. Also, on the other end of the spectrum, SPX Brief, guys, this is a great publication. This comes out every morning at 5:45. Gives you all the important information you need to know about SPX and also the news in the morning. I highly recommend you guys sign up for that. It is 100% free. It's just something that goes out that Rob and I enjoyed, and we thought that you guys would enjoy it too. So we've already got 250 people. Right now there's, I'm only going to do it for 500 people because I have to pay for emails. So if I send 500 a day times basically, 20 trading days, it's 10,000 emails a month is what it costs me. So it's not free. So, and the other thing is if you guys are interested in 7 days free, I'll post a link for you guys. You can check it out. I actually didn't even talk about this before, so it's in there regardless. And you guys can take a look, see if you're interested. Let's see, what else was there? I think that was it. How to trade the trade plan, the edge. Yeah, that's basically it. And if you guys are trade plan subscribers, I'm sure you guys all know already about hitting me up, shooting me a DM. I will get you on the invite only indicator list. Once you've got them, they're yours. But we've got some really cool shit. I've got an 80% rule indicator on there. And then we've got Momentum Cloud that Rob and I actually use for some of our other strategies. When we talk about our ATRs and stuff like that, that is essentially where it's coming from. So we give that to all Substack subscribers just for joining the first time. So something certainly to hit us up on. And guys, I'm actually going to get out of here. No reason for us to sit here anymore and, beat a dead horse. I think I've pretty much entertained as much as I can. Rob's already left me, so I know he's here.
Yeah.
He's here for now. So anyways, I think next week will be much better. Obviously, we're still in price discovery mode, but at least we're starting to go sideways, which means we should get some back and forth a little bit here today. it's unfortunate that today was kind of a big nothing burger, but not a lot we can do when we're not moving. So with that being said, if you guys are still going to continue to trade, look for the 7,000 area to play and reclaim 7,002 and ultimately the 04 pivot for the long. You want to start taking profits around yesterday's highs and then look for more. So thanks, Carl. Thanks for coming. Sorry that it is what it is. I can't control the movement. So as for everybody who's on the stream, thank you guys for joining us. It was incredible to have you all on here. I appreciate the amazing turnout. I will be here. We're going to do it again next Friday, so make sure you join me. And then, of course, the weekend review will come out on Sunday. Make sure you follow along on it's going to be on Substack, X, and YouTube. Check it out. It's always free. It's the flagship publication. We talk about the ES, what's to be expected. It's like a nice 20-minute video to kind of get you guys caught up. So once again, always a pleasure. Ciao, Francisco, Carl, Z, Shane, Dr. Diversions. It was an absolute pleasure to have you in here as well. G, and Timothy and Tim and V, you guys all be fantastic, because I know that you will. And hopefully next week we can get some movement in here. We can catch some love. I had a pretty strong week. It wasn't as good as last week, but we all made money, so I think that's enough said. So, G, you have a good one as well. Go touch some grass, brother. You deserved it. You earned it. And for everyone else, I will see you guys on Sunday for the post-market breakdown, and together we'll conquer the markets. Cheers. All right, see you guys. I'm out of here. You guys have a great weekend.